Back once again. You already know what it is. Straight from the road, Days Pun Road. Trying to get my best my best Drake impersonation on. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Have you ever seen that video with Drake and they caught him talking how he normally talks, where he sounded like people like, what in the world is that accent? And I'm like, nah, that's how Drake talks. That's first of all, that's how that's how like the Toronto dudes that grew up in the suburbs, that's how they sound like. People were so shocked. They're like, this is how Drake sounds? I'm like, yeah. All that other stuff, that's cap. All that, and I because maybe because I'm fresh off of a music tour last year with Canadians, so I know exactly how Canadians talk. They talk a certain way, but when they saw that video Drake talking, I'm like, yep, that sounds like Drake. How he that's that's what he really sounds like. People were so shocked, you know. But yeah, we're gonna definitely get into it tonight. Steph is sorry, Educated Tyrone will be joining us on the stream. I'm going to provide, you know what? I'll put the StreamYard because I'm gonna send the StreamYard link to him first because I do want him to talk on something um very specific today. Where we're talking about race and relationship, interracial relationships. And you guys might already know my stance behind when it comes to just, different races dating each other. So you guys, some of you might already know where I'm standing with this, but I'm gonna make sure I send my guy the link in just a second. Let me see. Did I just So yeah, let me put in the StreamYard link real quick. Let's get an invite going on. Oh yeah, also, did you guys see that whole shit that academics did? Talking about what LeBron allegedly might have done. Did y'all see that? I was bewildered. Even though I know academic is a hoe. You know what I mean? I've said that many times on my channel, and I've come to his defense as well. But I've told people this dude's a hoe. You know what I mean? But that thing he did, yo, man, boy, I tell you, man, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If like say, look, if like say something happened to Act, I'm not even gonna feel bad for him. I'm at that point. I'm at that point. I'm at that point with Act because this is not a good example to set. Like this is men don't do stuff like that. Men don't do stuff like that. But let's set some of this stuff up. I got a couple new sound effects. Somebody was in the comment section. He said, "Yo, you got to step your game up," but he was saying it in a constructive way, and I was like, "Nah, you're right. I definitely got to step up my game." So I got a couple new things coming in this year, this month especially. A new setup. I definitely got some things planned where my channel is definitely gonna be on some professional type stuff. I'll let you know it like say if I started a Twitch, I would definitely put my face in it. But in terms of YouTube, we'll see if I'll put my face back on there. We'll see. We'll see. But I got a couple of new sound effects on here that I wanted to put in to see how it works.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
I've been saying I've been wanting to add that sound effect for years. I'm talking about for years. But I finally found a way to do it. Got another one right here.
I don't want peace.
I want problems always.
So yeah, hit me up in the chat. To is the sound good on that? Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure. But yeah, this is gonna be more of a discussion stream. Because me Tyrone is gonna come on here. He made a post. Let me show you the post that he made on YouTube first. Let me just show you the post that he made on YouTube. Oh, and by the way, it was a girl, a ghostwriter in the industry that I was supposed to work with. And I found out that a very famous like woman in the industry basically stole her whole thing. So I'm about to ask her, like, are you working with? I'm about to ask her, are you working with so and so? I'm not even gonna put her name. But there's this woman that I was following on YouTube for years, but she only got like 2,000 subscribers. But she already has like, they already put a bio for her in the magazine in 2020 because she was supposed to be the next woman up, but they never pushed her stuff because she was a ghost. She was a writer for a lot of the young talent. And I saw somebody mention a very famous singer, and I looked at her content and I looked at one of her music videos, and it's literally she copied everything. I was like, this is a cold game. I'm about to ask her, yo, are you working with her? I'm like, I hope you. I'm like, I hope you're working with her because this girl literally took your whole thing. Industry is cold. I saw that last night after rehearsal. I was like, oh my god. I don't even want to say. I don't want to say the name. I don't even want to say the name of the singer. But let maybe I'll put the YouTube of the girl that I was supposed to work with. But maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll be brave enough to do that. But she in the industry. Grammy nominated writer and everything. You'd be surprised. Like you think that just because you got 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and just maybe 10K followers on Instagram or a little bit less than that. I don't have her Instagram. I don't think I have her Instagram, but they be low key winning, getting their money, and then staying out the. But they were setting it up for her so where she was supposed to be, in the game, but nothing seemed to pan out for her after 2020. Because I remember they had the whole magazine layout for her, and I remember messaging her. I'm like, "Oh, you finally getting put on? Let's work in this." And you're like, "Oh yeah, I follow your channel too," and blah blah blah. I saw you. So yeah, we were supposed to work, but man, I saw this artist that everybody liked, this female artist. She stole her. I'm like, I hope she's working with her, and they're giving her some money. That's crazy. But I don't want to say the artist's name. But anyways, let me bring up Educated Tyrone's channel because I saw what he had to say in the community section about something. Okay. Let me hit present real quick. Let me share the screen. Let's share the screen to you guys. And also, if Educated Tyrone is listening, you take your time. You got time. You got time. You got time. Also, I've seen like Educated Tyrone be going on these like other like Black Manosphere channels, like their channel and be calling in on their shows and whatnot. I would never do that because I'm not saying I'm not impressed by the Black Manosphere, but some of the stuff is they're trying to save something that's not there. No disrespect, but I always show respect to the Black Manosphere channels. For at least showing me a different way of looking at things. Especially when I was younger, so I always got to give them respect off rip. But anyways, this is Educated Tyrone's channel. He be going in. I like Educated Tyrone because he's batshit crazy, low key. He's crazy as hell, but he's an OG Pookie, so that's why I like him. You know, he be taught like I could tell, like say like Educated Tyrone is one of those guys I can tell if we had first met, we would have had problems, but then we would have been close like this afterwards. That's how like most of my best relationships work, especially when I was younger. It would have been like it would have been a problem, but then it'd be like we link over something common and we realize we BSing. We beefing over nothing. Let me see. Yeah, but this is Educated Tyrone's channel. He be going in. He does a lot of live streams. He'll he'll record himself. You know, he'll have these talks with Obsidian. I remember he called in on Jason Black's show. That's a guy I don't really like that much. No disrespect to him, um but yeah, and he's more black pill to be honest with you. And so I don't have a problem with that. But I like him. I like him. I like Educated Tyrone. Oh, hold on. Let me bring up the community section because I think I saw his thing on the community section. So this is where I commented on his post, and this is where the topic of the show is gonna center around, right? He goes, Wignat Brads are mad because they can't get Stacy or high tier Becky. And even when it comes to Keishas or Asian chicks, they get the bottom of the barrel. I would be mad too if society at large gave me a boost and I still got worse women than Pookie. And there's something to what he's saying. There is something to what he's saying. But we need to dive into that. We definitely need to dive into that. But I want him to get the floor for him to actually speak on it. And I'll give you my opinion, what I think about, interracial dating, the race wars on Twitter and all this stuff. I want to give my opinion after Educated Tyrone speaks his mind because I am interested in what he has to say. Um hopefully but he'll let me know. He said Educated Tyrone said Jason Black cooked me. Oh yeah, I saw a little bit of the thing. I saw that. We could talk about that if you want to talk about your experience on the Jason Black show. Um we can talk about it. But there's a lot of I'm not going to say bullying, but there are things that I see where it'll be a guy, not you, Educate Tyrone, but I remember I saw something where it was this white dude from Britain, and he called in on Just Pearly show, right? And he was very beta, very beta. He was like, oh, he was like an old looking young dude, right, from Britain, and people were cooking him in the chat. But I'm like, people don't understand. There's a lot of men that grow up that way, where women basically the feminine way to think is the right way to think in their minds. That's how women have raised them to be. That's how the teachers groom the men to be. And so now we're seeing the products of that. And then you'll see people cooking. It was this one dude that went on Just Pearly and he got cooked. I saw it on AJ's channel. But people don't understand, like he's a victim. Like I don't think we should be making fun of a guy like that. All we got to do is because a guy like that, he's gonna get married, but um, and just be there when it fall apart because it's not just him, dude. There are people that I know in my life that I'm not even trying to interfere with their nonsense because they're making big mistakes. I'm talking about Chads and Tyrones that I know in my life. They're making huge mistakes with women. I'm talking about huge mistakes. They're in the same boat as the guy that was on Pearly, you know? And because unfortunately that guy's gonna be a victim. That guy's gonna be a victim. Let's see. British guy calls in on Just Pearly things. Cause it was a dude that had called in on the show. What is Nick Fuentes? Oh, hold on. So let me save this video. I'm gonna save this because this is gonna help me for my show because I showed this before. Um, but yeah, I gotta find. I don't know if you guys can send me the link of that video. Um, when that it was this British dude that came in on the show. Beta dude. Is it just pearly things destroys beta that calls in? I'd probably have to ask AJ for that link. I'd have to probably ask because it was a dude that had called in, and he was looking like I'm talking about very soy boy. But that guy, I look at that kid as a victim, you know. That man. And that's very sad. But anyways, let's start off today with a Diddy story. Let's start off today with the Diddy story, man. I should have saved it in my Instagram, but let's start off with Diddy. Oh, speaking of which, speaking of which, speaking of which, oh man, speaking of which, man, hold on for a sec. Remember TD Jake's response to the allegations? Remember this?
The worst that could happen if everything was true, all I got to do is repent sincerely from my heart. There's enough power in the blood to cover all kinds of.
Yep, that nigga is guilty.
Oh yeah, that's me right there. Wait, hold on for a sec. Oh, okay. Oh, that's off my page. That's off my page. I thought that was on Shade. I'm like, how the but anyways, let's bring up Mr. Take That himself. Right, we got Diddy's legal team says the freak offs videos show fully consenting adults in the letter to the court, and that also includes Cassie as one of the consenting adults, which I've been trying to tell people, like that she's not a victim. She's really low key. She's low key. Um, the Ghislaine Maxwell of this thing, right? Soy poisoning, R.I.P. British guy. Yeah, I saw that joint. I was like, wow. Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's here. Educated Tyrone is here. Let's get him on here real quick. Let's welcome Educated Tyrone to the stage real quick. My
Wait,
guy, man. What's up, bro?
wait, is my mic clear or do I have to take out my headphones?
You might
I
want to
can't
go.
tell because this
I
these
think
these
you sound fine. You sound fine for
oh
now. You
okay
sound fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
You
my
might have to turn.
headphones.
You might have to turn it up. That's what I was about to say. You might have to turn it up, but
Wait, is my voice any louder or no?
no. Like you're actually soft, a little bit soft. You might want to turn up just a little bit, but you should. You're fine. You're clear. You're clear.
Okay. Let me see. I may have to Oh wait.
Will it sound better if you take your headphones
Yeah,
off?
yeah,
Or?
it will.
Okay, okay. So you can do that. Let's try that.
Wait, it's still clear.
Oh yeah, you're good now. Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because the other, I think those specific Bluetooth headphones, for some reason, when I plug them in, um, my volume to you guys, I can't adjust. Even if it's clear, it's just low, and I can't do anything about it. I mean, the
Okay.
host could probably turn me up, but it's like even if once you turn it up to the max, it still will probably sound low. So
Okay. But
yeah,
you're good now.
that only happens on my phone though. But I'm hopefully have a laptop in maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month, but hopefully 2 weeks.
But let's actually, since you're here, let's save the Diddy story because I wanted to talk
Oh
about.
yeah, I didn't know if you wanted me to join after the main stuff
No,
or
we could go right into what you have to say because I do want to
I
I
know
want. I
originally
want.
you were going to start the stream earlier, so I didn't know if I should have joined at 10 instead of
Oh
9.
no,
But
nah,
yeah.
because I had to put it at 9:30 because I was actually coming from somewhere. So
Oh, okay, I got you.
so I started at 9:30. So let's bring up your post on your channel, Educated Tyrone. And anybody that doesn't know, Educated Tyrone basically introduced himself to this channel, chasing off a bunch of pookies in front of the nation, and it was really a throwback because they probably haven't heard somebody like you before saying what you were saying. You know, it's always it's different. You know, that's why I always say, like, even in my case, you know, sometimes I'm playing, you know, soccer, and I'll be forgetting these kids is like 15, 14. I got to watch how I speak to them because they
Oh yeah.
even if they're bigger than you, they'll take it to heart. They'll be hurt. You know what I mean? So I had to learn that the hard way. So they probably never seen somebody like you before coming through, talking about chasing them down after they was trying to get at you, and it's
Oh
like four or
yeah.
five of them, you know, hurling down uh
F
rainbow
bombs.
X, yeah, the F bomb at them. They probably haven't. They've never heard nobody do that or seen nobody do that before. But that's how Educated Tyrone made his introduction to the channel. So let me bring
Yeah,
up.
that was hilarious. And I
Yeah.
sold it, and I took their orange juice because they dropped it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh man.
And
Oh
Chris seen the screenshot, so he know I'm not capping because I literally sent him the picture of that day on Instagram.
no, everybody saw it because we shared it with the
Oh
channel, and
yeah,
then
yeah, I
like
forgot. Yeah, I did.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It is right.
What's his name? I'm blanking on his name. The usual people that was here, they was on the panel. They was like, oh man, the 50.
Was it Pyro?
No, Pyro. Yeah, Pyro was there. Ain't 58-year-old guy, right? He was like, wow, this guy's not lying. So yeah, so this is real life. You know, this is why I like having Educated Tyrone. If you know the few times he could come on, because he's actually in real life doing something, not necessarily just behind the laptop. This is a
Oh
guy with
yeah.
actual experience. I'm looking at your channel
And
right now.
not to cut you off, but a
No,
lot of the people be talking about, oh, these black pillars and doomers never cam up. They're scared. I'm like, I've cammed up on Melanie King's channel at least once, and I debated with her for like almost an hour. And I called into the Pineapple Show like 4 or 5 times, and only I went on like I think 2 dates, and the other 3 times I was just shooting the shit with Melly or whatever. And one of the times we had a debate on like who should pay the bills. And I was telling Melly she should pay 70-30 because she makes more money than me. And she separated that from her stream into a whole separate like 17-minute pre-upload. So I'm like, out of all the black pillars, y'all can't say I'm scared to cam. I'm camming up on channels with 500,000 subscribers. Like now maybe it is some other black pillars that are bitching and you know they don't want to debate or they don't want to like, you know, join panels on enemy territory. But as far as me, I've debated other black pill niggas. I've debated red pill niggas. Even when you were talking about Black Manosphere,
Yeah.
I'm cool with some of them, but a lot of them I was debating. Even Obsidian, we ended up being cool, but the first like 6 months, I was calling into his channel. I was debating him. I was at one point I was banned from his chat. Um, I was cussing on his panel at one point. Like I was going in. I was. So a lot of the Black Manosphere dudes, of course, aren't cordial with me, or they don't like necessarily like me. But when even if I don't like them, or I think they're low IQ or yada yada, I generally try to have cordial debates and stuff without like going off the rails, so I can join their panels again. So I keep because worst case scenario, because I know they're not going to beat me in the debate. So worst case, even if I'm cordial and they try to roast me or something, and I'm taking the high road, like most of the people that watch the debates that aren't biased, they'll be like, "Wait, this why is the black pill nigga low key winning the debate, and why is he low key making the most sense?"
Well, a lot of the black pillars are actually right, but people don't even understand. Like even from the black pill standpoint, when I learned about looks maxing, right? So I'm like, well, that makes most male celebrities are black pillars when you look at
Yeah.
their how they practice. When you talk about Tom Brady, he had surgery done on his face. Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah.
these guys are all, you know what I mean? But some people don't even look at it from that perspective. If you look at Cristiano Ronaldo's pictures when he was like 18 or 19 years
Oh
old,
yeah.
and then compared to 2 or 3 years later, he got his teeth fixed, went to the gym, started buffing out, fixed his hairstyle, fixed his face. He did get what you call it? Botox. Yeah, he got
Oh
Botox in
yeah.
his face. So this is not like they just look at black pill as, oh, these are just no, like it's dudes that found the black pill when they were like, I'm talking about young, and they try
Oh
to do
yeah, yeah,
something about.
yeah.
Well, I'm talking about young when they were like in high school. Like even I'm seeing certain content creators. I don't want to
But
say
the
their
difference
names
is they don't use the words. They don't use
exactly.
the nerdy. Because even me, when
They
I
don't
first
label they don't label themselves black pill. That's the
exactly,
point.
thank you.
Yeah,
But they
yeah,
if you analyze their actions, that's what they are. Because even I would tell people like when I was in college and even after college, like 10, 15 years ago, um, when Tinder and stuff, when like the normies had an easier time, it wasn't as like doom and gloom as it is. Even back then, I would like my cooler friends or popular friends or whatever, when I would pull them aside and ask them like, "Yo, how'd you pull that chick?" Or that chick that you was talking to 10 minutes ago at the party, like you the only nigga on campus I ever seen bag her. How'd you do it? Yada yada. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of them niggas didn't have game. They would be honest, like, yeah, I just said this. I did this. I didn't say anything special. Yada yada. She was just feeling me. So I'm thinking, wait a minute. I'm analyzing, and I'm comparing this to what my normie friends are doing, or ugly friends, or weirdo, whatever, different types of whatever friends. And I'm like, the niggas that are fucking the baddest bitches and have girlfriends constantly and yada yada, they don't necessarily have the best game. Like a lot of the dudes that I would consider have the best game objectively, a lot of them is like, yeah, they got good looking chicks here and there, they got average chicks, but a lot of it was like they got the same results basically I do, and or that basically I got like in college and or from my teens to my 20s, and I'm like, I'm known as a dude that's awkward or like not necessarily awkward, but like, nerdy, weird, whatever. Like, I'm not a stereotypical, like, if I pull a chick, I'm not pulling her on no BBC stereotype or no, like, I'm pulling her off the muscle of just me as an individual. Because if anything, a chick might see me as an Oreo. So if anything, I don't even get the benefit of being like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not a stereotypical, uh, Pookie or Jamal or whatever you want to call it. So, because for context, Chris, I know some people already know, but I'm from Philly, so also that adds to the context because I'm in a more aggressive city than normal. So obviously, if you put me in Boston or Connecticut, I'd probably be more edgy than a lot of nerdy niggas there. But in
yeah.
Philly, it's like, okay, I'm a nerd here, so like a nerd from Philly is probably even more like rough or whatever than a regular black dude from like a timid city or like a small town or some shit. But you can
Right.
go. I know I've been rambling.
No, you're good. So for now, we have the post that kind of started off
Oh
something.
yeah.
So this is the post that I read, and we can read. Let me see. Okay, yeah, we'll read two of these. So right here, the top one, you say Wignat Brads are mad because they can't get Stacy or high tier Becky, and even when it comes to Keisha's or Asian chicks, they get the bottom of the barrel. I would be mad too if society at large gave me a boost and I still got worse women than Pookie. So explain. You can explain that. That the floor is yours on that one.
Yeah. Real quick for the one part, I think that some people might disagree with a little
Yeah,
bit. The part where it says Keisha's and Asian chicks. I know some people, not necessarily your audience, but like on the replay or whatever, they might say, "Oh, Tyrone, you're kind of coping because Maybe with Asian chicks, they you know they have the geomax and they get the bottom of the barrel in third world countries or whatever. But in terms of Keishas, they could date whoever they want, whether it's Africa, America, yada yada, because of JBW and yada yada. The reason why I added that wrinkle in there is because when people, first off, I got to get this out the way, which I always do. Black and white dudes have literally, besides maybe like black and Asian dudes, black and white dudes are arguably have the most opposite or like opposing taste in women. So besides guys like me who actually like skinny chicks, a lot of black dudes, they don't even like the same chicks that white dudes like. So first off, I think the argument is moot regardless. But second off, the reason why I said that nuance, you notice, oh, I'm not gonna, the college I used to go to, which I'm not gonna say, obviously. Only you know that. You're the only person, period, that knows that on my Instagram. But I mean, besides my real life friends. But I'm friends with a lot of swirlers. I'm friends like since my freshman year, I've had mostly white college roommates. I'm friends with white dudes that love black chicks. I'm friends with white dudes who are indifferent. I'm friends with white dudes who only like skinny black chicks or yada yada. Like I'm friends like the black pill was not my introduction to white guys. I know plenty of normal white guys with differing extents of racism and I've even racist dudes at different jobs have liked me because they thought I was smart. So like literally, I fucking whatever, and that's without me. That's just with me existing. Like I didn't even know they were racist. It's just coworkers would tell me like, yo, Stefan, our manager, he has a Confederate flag in his office, and I'll be like, wait, really? I would think they're joking, and I'm like, what? He's cool as shit with me, like whatever. My point is, I've had enough of an experience with normal brads, racist black pill brads, chads, yada yada, to have to be able to speak on this topic. And when they always say, "Oh, the best black chicks date brads," yada yada, they're either talking about a chad or they're talking about a brad that is cool with black people and shit. Because what I noticed, the white dudes who bag the best black chicks, quote unquote, because again, a lot of y'all niggas don't like the same chicks anyway. But speaking as an Oreo, you know, an Oreo adjacent person, the black dudes, I'm sorry, the Brads who get the best black chicks, they're not dating divestors. They're dating the super pretty suburban, or
Facts.
maybe not necessarily suburban, but smart black
Um,
chicks or whatever.
so let,
But
let me dive into that. Let me dive into that real
because he's
quick.
friends with guys like me, he has access to non-divester black chicks,
I
and
so
that's
I,
why
Yeah.
those Brads and Chads are kicking the asses of the Wignat Brads. The Wignat Brad, at best, he'll settle for a divester if he doesn't absolutely hate black women. Even then, they might still. You can go, my bad. But because even some of them will date black women even if they hate them because they
so
literally,
I was about to say
yeah,
we've already kind of spoken, like we spoke on that in terms of the type of black women that actually are like the baddest ones that do be with Brads and Chads. They're not divestors. They're not on Twitter doing
yeah, they're just bad
saying what
black bitches. They're
they
swirlers. I say
and
a divester's biggest competition isn't Becky or Maria. A divester's biggest competition is a swirler. Because if you remove all the other variables and you're talking about the 5% of white dudes who just really love black women because they grew up in the hood or whatever it was, they have black friends, whatever it may be. They if you ask them, would they rather date a swirler that has no mental issues, who looks really good and is well adjusted, or would they rather date a divester who probably on average looks worse, probably has a higher body count, has mental issues, and she has self-hatred issues, and she might have family issues because she came from obviously most likely a worse black family. They're going to choose the swirler who's well adjusted. She's friends with black and white people. It's a much more seamless transition for a white dude who's genuinely into black women to date a swirler who's cool with his black friends and it all works together versus a divester, you know what I mean, who hates herself And even if she worships that Brad, he still has to take whatever comes with that, whether it's her, bipolar or whatever mental issue she has on top of the racial shit because she was bullied for being dark skinned or yada yada, whatever. So that's why regular Chads and Brads will always. That's why white incels exist. I hate when people just skip over the fact and they focus on Indian dudes and dumb shit like that, which is less than 5% of American population. There are way more incel Brads in America, even if the percentage is different. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just saying the reason there are so many incel Brads, even though JBW exists, and even though there aren't certain, like attraction wise, how there are more filters for other races, like Indian and Asian and black dudes. They're more they're shut out from different parts of the population off rip, unless they're like a 9 out of 10 or some crazy exception or whatever. But my point is, the reason there are so many white incels, in spite of all those things working against other dudes and the height against Asian dudes, they're typically super short or whatever. Even with all that, there are millions of white incels, and the simple reason why is because they can't compete with high tier Brad and Chad Light. That's it. Because even if taking the black chicks out of it, when you get to the Asian and the white chicks, the Asian and the white chicks with options, if they can choose, if they're getting all these Brads throwing themselves at them on Tinder and passport bros and sugar daddies, dudes tricking, simping, and you could choose between a 6, a 7, an 8, a 9, and there's probably dozens of them. Some 3 out of 10 Brad hitting you up, he's literally the bottom of the pile, because it doesn't matter what those Asian and Becky chicks think of black dudes or Indians. It does not matter. That doesn't help you. So a lot of you Brads are coping when you bring it up. I'm like, even if it is true, which a lot of it is, again, millions of white incels exist because those advantages they have, it doesn't help them with Becky, because even if 100% of Indian and Asian women worshiped white guys, there's going to be a bunch of white guys, which is normal, that are going to prefer Becky and Stacy because that's their fucking ethnicity. That's perfectly normal. But the thing is, black, white, black, Asian, and Indian dudes could cease to exist today, and it wouldn't help them, because you know why? Chad Lights and 6 out of 10 Brads with money would still exist. Even regular 5 out of 10 average dudes. So these below average white incels, half of them don't even like black or ethnic chicks. So they're screwed regardless. And again, even if you take out the ethnic stuff off the table, when you have to compete with this is why, even with me, if I was getting my ass kicked by Tyrones and I was a virgin, and I'm like, damn, the only chicks I can get is some fat, like whatever, Becky, or some like third world Asian or Latina chick or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not a normie, I'm a sub 5. The reason I call myself a normie is because even though I'm not a Tyrone, I'm still not getting my ass kicked to the point where I would have to be a passport bro. But anyway, I didn't mean to I didn't mean to ramble, but I don't know, how much you guys talk about this on your channel, but
So
anybody
yeah.
who's listening, I'm pretty sure that's more than enough context for, because again, I agree with JBW. Some people think I'm a coper. I've never said JBW wasn't true. I've only said that because a lot of those dudes that could take advantage of it, they don't like black chicks and they don't like Indian chicks, and they may or may not like Asian chicks, but they may not even have the means to geomax. My point is, JBW can only help you if you're going at ethnic chicks that worship you for JBW. If you're going out at a 6 out of 10 white girl, I'm sorry, bro. You're gonna have to. And I'm not saying I still get that white dudes are seen as the default a lot. So if you're a 5 out of 10 white dude, you may not have as many stereotypes to go against, or that like a 5 out of 10 Indian dude would, or black dude, or whatever, or African dude, etc. But again, taking out all that JBW stuff, they cannot accept. And the thing is, when they say, "Oh, JBW," it's not just about race; it's about looks, because whites on average have uh better jawlines and this and that and the third. And on some of I don't even want to give that too much credit because I haven't really looked into it that much. But there are like some pretty whatever. It's niggas that bitches think are cute that might not have the most masculine jawline. I will say that. But I mean, I could cherry pick because, of course, there's Tyrones with amazing jawlines. We get it. Pause. My point is, these Wignat Brads keep coping about how they're superior and this and that, and I'm like, bro, even if that was true as far as the jaw, because a lot of the white dudes they call a 5 or a 6, they're only overrating just because they have blue eyes or some shit. And I'm like, nigga, this is just an average. He's not even a 5. I like my white friends mogged this nigga to oblivion. But my point is, even if the superiority shit was true, it's still a cope regardless, because group genetics is separate from your individual bloodline. So another random Chad having great genetics doesn't help you. Just like if I was an ugly, like a sub 4 or I'm gonna be more extreme. If I was like let's say a 3 or 2, like something crazy, and I was the same Blasian ethnic, same exact DNA or whatever, just because other Blasian niggas are like exotic or look look good or have exotic features or whatever, that wouldn't help me. That's a cope. So this is why I judge guys by what they can do. When you stack them up against their own ethnicity. So we're not going to give anybody any random variables or wild cards. How do you compare against your own ethnicities, whether it's black, Latino, whatever? If we eliminated everybody else, so race isn't an issue, it was just about looks and your charisma or whatever else you want to throw in, how do you compare against your own? And a lot of these white incel niggas, it's not even like they're short. They're tall. So it's like at some point they gotta accept maybe your face works when you go to Asia and Asian chicks just love your 4 out of 10 face, but they gotta accept that in America the standards different. Becky, she can get a 4 out of 10 white guy like any day of the week. Like you know what I mean? Like that's so I get it. Like if they would approach this from from a more empathetic standpoint, or I guess non-Wignat Brads probably do, because I'm cool with a lot of normal Brads or whatever, online and in real life. But the Wignat Brads, if they didn't hate my existence and think I was inferior to them, even though my IQ is higher than a lot of theirs, but whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But as a black dude and with Asian friends, the Asian dudes have their own issues. I would actually come to it with some empathy, because I'm like, even though I do judge dudes by what they can do in their own ethnicity against their own competition without a racial component, I still know there's certain factors. Like I know Becky's and Stacy's are they have their own issues. It's not like black chicks are the only American chicks that are annoying. Like we obviously know Becky's literally ushered in modern feminism. They're the most passive aggressive women on the planet. And I say this as a nigga, even with Asian female relatives and then knows a lot of Asian chicks, white women are by far the most passive aggressive women ever, period. So I know even beyond the look shit, and the height and whatever, there's other random factors, you know, uh that make dating way harder, even if you're white. So I'm not even saying it's really easy for anybody unless you're Giga Chad or Giga Tyrone or whatever, or athlete, celebrity, whatever. But anyway, I've literally made almost all my points. So Chris,
No,
you
that's
could take it
fine.
away. I didn't expect to get all of my points are literally done. I mean, all of my,
So,
whatever.
because I wanted to sum it up by
Yeah.
saying, technically, what you're saying is not even about race. So that's why I found your post really interesting because I wanted you to expand on it, and it always comes back to this: the average chick wants nothing to do with the average man, and if she has the option to, regardless of race, regardless of race,
Oh yeah, yeah.
if,
No, you're right.
you
You're
know what
right. No,
you know what I
that. Yeah,
mean.
you're right.
But no, no,
Exactly.
I'm saying you're right,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying it seems to be the common theme amongst every race. Because I'll be on Undead Chronics channel, white dudes complain about the same thing. Their chicks don't mess with them. You go on Black channel, Black Manosphere channel, same thing. Black chicks only going out with pookies and blah.
Oh
It
yeah.
seems,
I
or
fuck
you
with
go,
Chronic too. I
you
haven't
go
been
on,
on his
with
channel in
indie.
a while though. I think I called in like in 2022 or some shit. It was like a long time ago.
Like Indian chicks. I'm sorry, Indian dudes. We got V that'll call in on the show sometimes. Same
Oh,
thing. He's
definitely.
so
Oh,
he said that they basically worship. You know what I mean? So now it's
yeah.
even to a point. Oh, Truth Hunter said it. Truth Hunter said it. Sorry for taking too long on that point, Truth Hunter. But Truth Hunter said exactly what I was about to say. He says even the below average women want the best men. So you'll even see
Facts.
pictures like where basically to get even the average chick to just have a little bit of respect for you, you have to be like damn near 8 out of 10 face wise, 9 out of 10
Yeah, that's
face wise.
crazy.
So I've seen like busted up Asian chicks with like taking a picture with a Chad,
Yeah.
and you can just see it's like so off, like it's like the balance is clear, like he's like it's crazy, and
Yeah.
you're just like he could do like a lot better than him, but that's basically the standard.
No.
So
Chris,
so
you know
even
a lot
so,
of black well, I guess a lot of land whales in general, but I don't really know that many. But online, if I'm arguing with like land whales in the comments or whatever, they'll literally call me ugly. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I like now I don't.
oh,
I tell people I don't really react to it because I know at least with black chicks, pretty at least in my experience, I know it could be it's different variables, but in my experience, pretty black chicks are way nicer than fat black chicks. So I
facts,
don't really
facts,
take offense to that online because I'm like, okay, in real life, and it's not to say fat, like, of course, fat chicks, if I approached it, they probably would be nice to me in general. But I'm just saying, like, in my experience, if I approach a super pretty black chick, even if she rejects me, I won't even feel like I'm going to be rejected because she was chill about it. Where as a fat chick, she could like me and still be kind of fronting or be arrogant. And I'm like, you like me and you're still acting arrogant. You're a fat chick. Like, what are you like? So, but anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
no, but you're right. So I was gonna, because what your example of when you're talking about fat women calling you or calling other people ugly. I do you remember Cindy
Because on
Noir?
my Instagram, I show even though my Instagram's a burner, it's my real pictures. So chicks could go in there, they see what I really look like.
Do you remember when I went over Cindy Noir? Do you remember her? This chick?
Oh yeah, Oh yeah,
And
yeah. I see
remember how
somebody
I
else react to her too, not you, and it was somebody like a Black Manosphere channel or somebody.
remember when I showed you like how huge she was? Like I'm talking about they had her like sitting on the couch, and I was like, God, Lee, she's forget well. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
nah.
Like bigger than that. Like it was bad. You know what I mean?
Like a
And you guys
like what is it called? Sperm whale or I forget what the biggest one is called.
like so I can't find the video now because I never saved it, so I'm never gonna find it. But I remember her. She was reacting to a fellow YouTuber, a female YouTuber. So the other female YouTuber, I forgot her name, but she's the type, she defends men. You know what I mean? She's pro black men, this, pro black men that. And the woman, she showed her boyfriend, right? And I guess the boyfriend was shorter than her, whatever. Cindy
Mm-hmm.
Noir was sitting there laughing at the boyfriend that the woman had, but I'm like, well, yeah, she's the she's out of his league, the female YouTuber, but I'm like, that's your looks match, Cindy Noir. That's
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're sitting there laughing at her boyfriend, but I'm like, that's your looks match, and she has more respect for her man than you, and that's really supposed to be your boyfriend, but you just think you above that, you know. So this is
Exactly.
why
Yeah.
somebody like a Cindy Noir, she's gonna get used because she lives in an ATL. So the only type of ninjas that's gonna be around her is somebody that's gonna live up under her, not pay nothing, basically a Pookie or a Chad, or sorry, a Pookie or a Tyrone with a discount. You're gonna take
Oh
care of him.
yeah.
He's gonna use you, or if he might be gay and he's just gonna use you as a beer. This is what you're gonna be used for.
And honestly, I
But
think she probably would only get Pookies based off her body type and face
yeah,
and everything.
yeah, definitely.
Like, because even a below average suburban nigga or suburban dude, um,
I
he
wish I
probably
could
looking
find
at
this
her
video.
because like when I look at her, I'm like, okay, she's ratchet. Her body's trash. The face is trash. The hair's trash. It's like there's no. So it's like I'm not compatible with her. I'm not attracted to her. Like, and she's not smart. It's like because with other chick, like if you even if you're educated lame, I would say taking the Beckys and Asian chicks or Latinas out of it. I know a lot of like suburban or nerdy black chicks might end up with Brads or whatever, like whatever. But I would still rather talk to one of them. Like even if their face was like a 4 out of 10, if she's like skinny, I'm like, okay, I could deal with that. I'll take an in shape chick with a like slightly below average face. But I'm like, fuck it. My kids won't be super short. Like, let's say the chick is 5'8", 5'7", 5'9", whatever, and she in shape. Literally her face is just a little below average. I would like I'll take that all, even if she's some weird, like, hipster black chick, like super, like, like even more hipster than me, like more than my taste. Like if she was leaning emo or goth, if that's my choice compared to Cindy Noir or whatever her name is, I'm taking the other chick. Like it's because she's so low on the look scale. It's crazy. Like, because I'm not even talking no black pill shit. Like, oh, I'm being super technical, analyzing her face. This is just a regular shit. Like she's not even a 4. Like this is ridiculous.
But yeah. Oh, and so back to the race things.
Oh yeah, like that pic,
I
Chris.
remember. Oh, what's up?
That pic in the bottom left, that sums up my feelings about her right there. The one
Oh
with my
Lord.
Patreon is
Yeah,
the way
yikes.
her face looks in that picture. That's why I said everything I just said, because I can look at any other 4 out of 10 black chick that at least is in shape, and it'll look way better than that. So I'll take my chances.
Wow. So let
But
me hold on. I just saw hold on for a sec. So I'm gonna show something real quick. I gotta open the tab. I might have to open up in another tab, but we're going to talk about specifically we're going to move on in the race and relationship discussion. Why also when you brought up the wignat brads, or basically the dudes on Twitter. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's really all it is.
yeah,
But I'm going to show you why they're actually losing. And we've talked about this on my channel before, but I'm going to just show a refresher real quick, right? So you'll take a couple like this, right? The average like Instagram couple. And I know most of these things are like fake, but this is like a regular black and white couple, right? What's it? Life with Brooke and David. I'm not gonna play the music. So that's like the average, black and white couple. He working at McDonald's or something. She work at Chick-fil-A. So just regular stuff.
regular
Regular
shit.
stuff.
Yeah,
Right. So they had to delete a lot of comments. I had saved this video for a while, and I think I actually showed it. I don't know if people remember, but you can see here it was a lot of comments from the Wignat Brads, because usually when if it's a white girl, black dude, and they have a couple page, it's gonna
Oh,
be
they're getting
literally all
bombarded.
breads. I'm talking about bombarded with he's gonna turn you into a single mom and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So it's you know and all that stuff. So I
Yeah.
what I would say. Let me bring up a better example though, because it looks like they deleted. Because I actually showed this
I could
as an
have sent
example.
you one. There was a video I seen recently with what you're talking about. It was a black dude driving a car with a white chick in the passenger seat or something, and they
No, I got one right here. I got one right here. So right here. So it's just this video. Just this video. So I remember, so she was walking up the stairs with her mixed kid, right? And she was talking about gym stuff and whatnot. And if you look at the comments, it's the whole thing. Is, let me guess, single mother, which actually isn't true. They're together, but they're just not married. She's actually so this is her boyfriend. This is her boyfriend, right? So
he a
they don't
regular
really,
nigga or a rapper or something.
I don't know what he is, but she doesn't really post. So they show them a picture with them at a couples retreat, and you see a lot. Most of these couples got black boyfriends. Most of these white
What?
couples got black. Not now that I'm looking at it. So
Yeah.
they're still together. They're a couple. I don't think they're married. I doubt it, but but they say it's a parents couple trip, so they probably are married though. So let me take that back. So let
Oh
me take that
yeah.
back. But yeah, so this is the boyfriend she has. It's a I don't know what we would call him. He seems like a regular dude that's just jacked. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, like a 5 or 6 at least anyway.
Yeah. So when you see something like this, usually most of the comments is future single mom. You know what I mean?
Oh
Somebody's a
yeah,
huge
without fail.
disappointment. Somebody's a huge disappointment to the father, and bloodline
Oh,
this,
she's only dating her because she hates her father.
yeah, and stuff like that. So let me bring up this original video because it was crazy. Because it was like they were talking about her and her kid. You know what I mean? So they would say, said, "Let me guess, single mother, black men making single motherhood universal now. Once once you go black, you a single mom." But you know what I mean? He said, somebody said ruined goods. Never mind, she got the fever. So most of the times when you see something like this, right? I actually try to give white people like this advice. I say don't do that because you actually make black men look better. Because what ends
Yeah,
up
yeah,
happening is
exactly. That's why some of these black man, not to cut you off, some of these black manosphere dudes that are like extra average, and you wonder why they're so arrogant and why they be talking, oh, black man, we're the most desired man on the face of the planet. It's because of Wignat Brads posting shit like this. And then they're seeing this like, well, damn, I guess the average black dude is even desired the way they're talking about us. Like that. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. But I've noticed that shit so much. And I'm like, yo,
but yeah, we've talked about this on the channel. We're
yeah.
like I talk about extensively. It'll be like one episode we'll talk about something like that, but we try to tell like the more you put that boogeyman, the more whatever you're gonna make the boogeyman, you're gonna make that person attractive. So anybody that has like a teenage daughter, you already know the person that you're hating on the most, the boyfriend that the dad hates the most, she's gonna cling on to that boyfriend like peanut butter and jelly, right? So we
Yeah,
already know.
exactly. You're
So and
pushing her towards him. That's why if I
yeah,
was a parent, I would just be indifferent. I wouldn't like highlight some specific type of dude and make and amp it up and make it like oh my god, watch out for when you go to high school and the drug dealers watch it. Like I wouldn't make it such a I would assume my daughter is as smart as me and my sister were when we were teenagers, and the way my parents were kind of like not super strict but not super, if they were kind of like just reasonable, I would just play it like that.
so I brought up this example which a lot of people don't know. So do you know Nick Saban, right? The coach at
Oh
Alabama, right?
yeah, wait, did he
So
retired recently, right? Or
yeah, so
yeah,
he has a daughter, right?
yeah.
So when she got married, young age too, she got married at a young age. Do you know who she picked on the Alabama football team? Do you know who she picked?
I should remember, but I can't
It was
honestly.
like some random white dude on the team. And people were
like the quarterback or the punter.
no, it was like a punter or a kicker. He was like, but it was like somebody that don't even play. But he was like one of the funny. It was like he was known as one of the funniest people on the team. Now people wonder like, damn, out of all the ninjas she just saw, why the white? Because I'm pretty sure
her dad,
like her dad, it's daughters see their parents. Like we know how our parents really are. So if I can tell from social media, you have a hatred for black men for whatever reason that might be. If I can see it, you think the daughters can't see that? So that showed me, I was like, oh, that means Nick Saban really is not a hater of ninjas like that. Because out of all the people she could have chose, she chose the one white dude. And because I'm pretty sure if she was probably one of the types when she was younger, she thought, oh, okay, let me see if this is gonna piss my dad off if I bring home one of the ninjas he's recruiting, and he probably didn't even care, and she was like, what? And the less that because he doesn't have a indifference to ninjas like that, so she probably went out of her way. She's like, I can't get a ninja because it's not actually gonna help my case. I need to get somebody that's like, because he's not. So that's kind of the example that I always use. And then I want to also use another example too. Do you know the Amazon Prime series show? It's called The Outlaws. By any chance, do you know that?
I think I've heard the name, but I've never seen it.
So it was a girl in there. She likes to do crime, right? So she ends up doing community service. So she thought the criminal boyfriend that she had brought home to her dad, who was white and her mom's Indian, whatever, she thought bringing him home to the house was going to piss them off, but it didn't. They actually got along with him because he was trying to get his life back in order. And the dad saw that and he was like, hey, here's my slippers. And the boyfriend appreciated it. And from that point on, she lost all attraction for him. And I was like, that is something we got to put like on a movie screen or something, because she lost all attraction when the dad gave him the slippers, and he's like, man, your dad is so nice and he's gonna help me with my business and blah blah blah. And they can see that, yeah, he is doing community service, he's a criminal, but he's trying to get his life back in order. But she brought him home to piss off her parents because she's a bad person. You know what I mean?
But it didn't have the intended effect.
So she, by that point, people that watch the series, they know exactly what I'm talking about. From that point on, she lost literally all attraction for dude. And mind you, that was the guy she lost her virginity to.
Wow.
In the series. But that's shows crazy. You even Pookie, she'll break it off as the dad if you're just like whatever. But not even they weren't like whatever. They were actually very receptive to him. They're like, welcome to him to his home, and he said, oh, you can cook too, you can help me cook. And they like, but she lost all attraction. So it shows you the more you push, like that more you do that, it actually makes it worse. Not necessarily, it might make it better for us, quote unquote, but you put that stigma out there that, oh man, I can piss off my dad if I date a black dude. Oh, I can piss off the Brad that I'm messing with if I just mess with my Negro gym trainer or something, right? So this is the stigma that could actually be stopped if you just be indifferent to it. You know what I mean? So this is kind of what we had talked about on my channel. But I like to bring up that Nick Saban example because it's still kind of funny to me. Like out of all, because you already know Nick Saban, what he's about, he's gonna select people that's gonna help him win. He's gonna pay him, and also the mystique. She probably doesn't look at ninjas like, wow, who are these people? She done seen these people come up in Nick Saban's house crying, talking about, man, my mama loved it. those the single mammy raised ninjas. She probably saw how
my life, Coach Saban. You changed my life.
She probably done seen that so many times, and she's just like, people don't understand the science behind that. You know what I mean? And she probably want to do. Let me find a dude that doesn't need my dad. like for real. And that's why she chose some random Caucasian dude that was one of the funniest dudes on the team. He probably came from money. He don't care about Saban at all, really. You know what I mean? So this is what she wanted to do. So that mystique, because a lot of the times, especially when when those white girls, they go to college and they already grew up with their dad hating on ninja athletes on ESPN, saying this ninja's bad, this ninja's bad, and then they go on campus for the first time and they see these ninjas up close and personal, and they're just like, oh, it can't be that bad. And then again, that's how they get themselves into trouble. You know what I mean? So this is the science, that kind of gets left out, and this is also why I don't really believe in, because I don't like it when ninjas go on Twitter and be talking about, oh, they just want that BBC. Nah, it's more than that. It's trust me, it's more scientific than that, than just some primal stuff. A lot of this stuff, the attraction triggers can come from many things, but a lot of the times,
that's why I think some of the black pillars get wrong, because a lot of the black pillars, because the black pillars like me, I'd say we're in the minority. We're not really, because I would say it took like maybe a year for even black pillars to accept me, like not accept me literally, because they still hate me, a lot of them. But I'm as far
sorry,
as
I saw something from Midnight Sun that made me laugh. My bad. Could keep
going.
No,
go ahead.
But let me read it. He said, back in high school, some ugly and obese senior came up to me and wanted to get with me. I was so offended and had to tell her I'm saving myself for marriage as a lie. That is hilarious. That is a funny.
No, you did exactly what you should have done.
Oh man.
At the very least, I would have said I had a girlfriend.
But okay, but also let me also say one more thing, since Midnight Sun is here. I do find some of the single mother comments things, like I do find it funny. Like, say, like it'll be like a single mom that she kept this one. That's how I like to say it. She kept that kid, and then she'll be asking for Twitter. She'd be like, "Where are all the real men?" And then I remember seeing a tweet as a response. He's like, "Can I ask for the race of the father?" that was funny. I'm not gonna lie, that was hilarious. He said, "Can I ask for the race of the father?" Midnight Sun knows exactly what I'm talking about. that it was a tweet that went viral that Chronic had read. I was crying laughing. He said, "Can I ask for the race of the father?"
And that's the thing. I know a lot of, whether it's non-Wignat Brads or whether it's just Asian or mixed or like Latin or other black people or whatever. And some of us, because we're already cool with each other, we might be edgier with the jokes or whatever. Especially me, niggas know I'm not a liberal, but I guess I'm whatever.
No,
Fucking progressive, whatever.
Same with me. Like people on my channel have heard me. I've called white girls mud sharks too.
Yeah, so, I'm like a Joe Rogan leftist. I'll put it that way. Like I'm like a dirt bag leftist. So like the being politically correct, I don't even care about. But my thing is, once because it depended, like on those Instagrams with the interracial couples, and I see the jokes, some I'll laugh at because I know it's like a meme page, or like it's clearly
those
just
are different. Those are different. Like meme page stuff, that's different.
Yeah,
but
But I'm just saying, like some of these pages is like, especially with me, because people got to realize I'm a black pillar, so I've probably interacted with like a higher, like, because of me having a black pill YouTube channel and being a black person that cams up, I'm more of a target for random white incels to leave hate comments. So I'm not even saying you'll interact with them as much as me, because I'm aware that I have a fucking channel that, you know what I mean? I get it. So I'm not even saying they're everywhere and fucking whatever. I get it. But the ones that exist, I hate the fact that they exist in the numbers they do, because there are other white dudes and black dudes that actually do just enjoy funny jokes, and certain jokes we can't even enjoy. Like, for instance, like if I see certain
Facts.
shit,
Facts.
I'll laugh, but then I'm like, man, this white nigga really is on some. He's literally a fucking whatever the eugenist or whatever eugenicist, whatever the fuck
Eugenicist. Yeah,
eugenicist.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah.
damn, like now I can't even laugh at the joke now. Like, god damn, this nigga.
Yeah. But I'll say, yeah, because a lot of stuff we will, dude. I'll be joking with other white people about this stuff, and they'll say some things, and it'll be funny, and it's just out of good fun, like, especially if you're
Yeah.
on a meme page. But the people that take it too far, the reason why it sucks, because I know once they start talking about the RP, or even if they talk about incels in general, they start looping those guys in with them, and that's like
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean. So the what's his name, Nick Fuentes, right? I bring him up as an example. I'm not saying the stuff he says is wrong, but the reason why I can't put no support behind him is because once we start talking about the RP, we start talking about the space, the stuff that men go through, they start saying Nick Fuentes is the
Yeah.
RP, just to dismiss men's problems. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
and
this is,
he doesn't represent any movement. He's like his own entity. Like
yeah, he's his own person, really.
yeah.
To be
He's
honest.
not like
So,
I don't even know what, like, because I hate that he's even talked about. Like, I would love to debate him just because even though I know he's an idiot and
well, I don't me personally, I don't even think he's that bad, but I just think his mentality is where
well, I should say I've
certain,
seen him say some dumb shit, but
he's
like
doing that on purpose, though.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
oh no, what were you about to say? My bad. You about
but
to
but he's just his he'll say things that where now the normies can latch onto that and then just use that against, not
oh yeah,
necessarily
yeah,
him,
yeah.
but they
Cause
use it
yeah,
against us. It's almost the same. That's why I don't really. It's kind of tough for me to even defend a Andrew Tate. You know what I mean? What's his name? The other people that are fake, the Just Pearlies, because they'll say something and I'm like, God damn it. And then
yeah.
so now
Cause
I can't
technically
even.
they're like, even me as a person that's beefed with a lot of Manosphere people, I wouldn't even lump them in with Andrew Tate or Just Pearly or whoever, because I'm not that disingenuous, because or Nick Fuentes, because they're grifters. Like, even if I disagreed with, like, let's say Myron or somebody, or well, that's not a good example, but somebody else that had no connection to Just Pearly or Nick Fuentes, just because they were RP, I would never be like, oh well, you RP guys, you have guys like Nick Fuentes on your podcast. So, you know what I mean? I wouldn't link them all together just because Myron and Fresh are cool with Nick Fuentes.
But like, yeah,
But the mainstream will do that to discredit the entire like movement or any channel associated with
yeah.
it.
And like for like me personally, I wouldn't say if Nick Fuentes wanted to call into my channel, it wouldn't even be a debate. We would probably agree on most things. It's just, you know, I just don't like when people want to shut down a point just because of one thing he says. There's just one, it's like one thing that he said, and then they're gonna latch on to that. And also we got to make sure as content creators we don't get baited with our biases. You know what I mean? So I always have to make sure, this is why I kind of stick to topics like these or the RP topics, because I don't want to talk about sports or like music stuff because my bias will show. So that's why I kind of try to stick, with stuff like this, so I can like just look at it like with a blank slate, put my anecdotal experience here and there, and really look at things with a bigger picture. Because if you took my anecdotal experience in life, it actually would not really make sense on why I'm doing this. Because I remember telling my core audience, like in terms of the people that gave me shots when nobody would give me a shot, they were all women. My first piano teacher, woman. First soccer coach, believe it or not, in terms of the first person that gave me a shot in travel soccer, woman. Put up like I didn't even have a position, I couldn't even play. She gave me a shot, right? Um, right. When I was in elementary school, the person that showed the most loyalty to me was a girl. Two girls, actually, right? Dudes had no loyalty to me, right? Middle school, same thing. Two of my closest friends that helped me the most. Two of the people that helped me the most,
Mhm.
girls. So this is why I got to take my biases. It's easy for me when I'm talking about RP stuff because I can
Oh, I'm
easily
glad
just
you
take my,
brought that up about the
you know,
chicks that you like in your younger years, because
yeah,
I'm not going to go off way too long, but certain like manosphere channels or whatever, male empowerment, men's rights, yada yada. Now some of them are super positive, so I get it. It's whatever. That's what they're going to do. But some of them, I feel like they're being a little too blue pilled when they try to frame like modern men's problems or like men's issues in society and the legal system and mental health and yada yada. I hate when some of them they try to frame it as like, oh, men, we got to stick together and yada yada. Women don't value you and they think you're worthless and blah blah blah. And this is just not even just being a black dude. This is just being a dude in general. Just not even getting into the race part. Just being a man in general. To me, it's blue pilled or it's disingenuous to frame it as like all men are allies and we're all on the same page and we're all, because I'm just thinking like on whether it's black pilled politically, financially, socially, I'm thinking it's men of every like race and class and culture on a day-to-day life. It's not the majority of men, but it's like enough. It's a noticeable amount of men, whether it's on an individual level or whatever level you want to bring up. It's enough men that aren't my ally, even if it's a bunch that aren't my direct enemy. They're enough. They're far enough away from neutral to for me to still keep my head on a swivel, so to speak. So like when if I was a Manosphere channel and I had 1 million subscribers and I was like, oh, we need to do this for men and self improvement and men's empowerment, I would still frame my advice to my listeners like, hey, I wish the best for men as a collective because I'm in a privileged position and I'm not beefing with any men of any class or any individual men. So, from my privileged position of knowledge and financial security, I'm able to have a YouTube channel with millions of subs. So, any man that's listening right now, I want to just give you as much wisdom as possible because it's going to help you and whatever. But I wouldn't frame it as, oh, every guy listening to this, we're all allies across whatever class, racial lines, even just random personality, even within just the same ethnicities, not even just black dudes, but just it's not like um every nigga is cool with every nigga. It's not like, oh, I'm a skateboarder and I'm cool with the popular frat dude and he's cool with the goth guy and the goth guy is cool with the nerd and the nerd is cool with the preppy suburban guy and the preppy suburban guy is cool with the hipster and the hip. It's like, no, some of the athletes they don't like, and I can speak to this because I wasn't a stereotypical nigga. I was a nerdy dude with friends that weren't nerds. I had popular friends. I had loser friends. I had average
wait.
friends in the middle.
Let
I had
let's
friends with
let's let
girlfriends
me
for years. I had
let
friends that were whores. So you get my point. That's the only
yeah.
reason I say that.
But let me
Men
stick to,
are not all on the same page. We're not all going to agree. So this whole blue pill shit about men, I'm like, as many times as I have been cock blocked in college and even as a grown man, there is
yeah.
no way men are on the same side because I get cock blocked every fucking year. So I'm like, no, there's a percentage of men who are just in it for themselves. And
Yeah.
even if they're not all out criminals or whatever, but they're just lame niggas, like we gotta be honest. There's not
I,
it's not you get my point.
But I was gonna bring up a point where, you know, like, have you ever seen, like, it'll be like black people, like black entertainers, they'll be talking about, you know, working with other black people, and they'll be like, black people can't work together, white people work together. But I'm like, actually, that's not really true. Like, if you look at, like, because I'd have been around white people for a while. I'm talking about most of my life living around white people. Most white
Wait, because
people
Chris,
don't
you're from down
really,
south or the Midwest?
no, Northeast.
Oh, Northeast. Okay, but I think you're
Connecticut.
more northern than me. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like Yukon area, right?
So people don't understand. Like in Connecticut, you'll see black people in different specific cities, but most of Connecticut is white. You know what I mean?
So you got more experience with white people than me then.
Oh yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
Well, yeah, like than most. I'll say not.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like than most, but like people don't understand. Like even like neighbors, they be beefing with each other. And even I'm talking about they could be very racist as well, but they don't mess with each other like that. There's no like system of maybe with the small hats, yes. But I'm talking about
maybe, yeah.
I'm talking about the average white family, whatever, they're not, it's not like that. They don't even be getting along like that. They be beefing over nothing, right? Or because there's a lot of black people that they'll always do that. They'll go on the show and be like, man, black people just can't work. That's just life, you know. You're not gonna get along, you know, with everybody. Because I saw something on Shannon Sharp with Donnell Rawlings or something, and Donnell Rawlings was like, why don't black people put anybody on and blah? And I'm just like, well, that's not true, especially with your career. Because he mentioned Dave Chappelle. I'm like, well, you're in the Hollywood industry. It's like it's full of vipers, and you're not going to meet many people, regardless of race, that's going to help you get on. Even like, you know what I just did, and I realized most dudes don't even do that. Somebody started a group chat, right, of just like keyboard players, right, that we go to the spot and we jam out, right. There's only one keyboard, mind you, right. So it's supposed to be me, bro that invited me over. He even invited me to his band, and that was his keyboard spot. He was the keyboard player. He said, nah, you're better than me, just play and I'll just sing. Do you know how many dudes don't do that? How many, I'm even for like broke stuff, dudes don't do that for each other, just in general. People don't do that for each other. Or when I introduced a girl into the group chat, and then I introduced another guy to the group chat. Most people don't do that in general because everybody wants to feel like, you know, they want to be the star, or they just want to have that slot. Most people don't really do that.
Yeah.
So regardless of race, regardless of gender, so this whole thing about, oh, black people don't do that, I'm like, how about the Wayne bros? The Wayne brothers done put a lot of people on. Dave Chappelle put a lot of people on. Kevin Hart. You know, why do we focus on the one negative experience and then just to be like, man, white people be putting people? I'm like, bruh. Like, and plus those like black people like that be saying stuff like that. I'm like, they've never hung out with Eastern Europeans at all. I'm talking about in their life. Because these people don't even understand like the significance of, like, I remember watching a World Cup, and I think it was Switzerland versus this other Eastern European team, but people didn't understand the significance. It was two Albanians on the Switzerland team that scored against I'm blanking on the team's name. Was it Serbia? I think it was Serbia. Or
was it? It's either, I know what you're talking about. It was
either I think it was Serbia or Slovenia.
One of the two. Yeah, because I forget the name, because I always mix up Serbia, Slovenia.
It was Shaqiri. I think it was Shaqiri and Shaka that scored, if I'm not mistaken. But it was two. They're both. By the way, both of those guys, they're Albanians. So Switzerland, people don't understand. It's a whole bunch of. Switzerland is a whole melting pot of book. These are the things a lot of black people I find out they don't even know about. So a whole war could have started over that game. People don't even understand. You know, so it's like little things like that. You know what I mean? That kind of, people don't understand. Like, not everybody's gonna work together. There's not gonna be no kumbaya of all men coming together. All we can do.
Oh yeah, because that shit isn't that. I think that's why Luka and Jokic are on different teams. Because I think
Yeah,
isn't I think Luka's from Slovenia and Jokic is from Serbia, I think.
Serbia, exactly. People, yeah. So the average, like,
Because
like say, like,
imagine if Luka and Jokic were the same Olympic team, I think they would beat the US by themselves, honestly.
but here's the thing. It'll be like
Because
the average,
because
like,
Jokic almost beat the American team by himself this
so
year.
the average white guy that's on Twitter that probably doesn't know anything. They'd be like, man, these white dudes are whipping ass. So I'm like, like Jokic and Luka, they probably wouldn't even, like, I'm talking about their families would probably be at war with each other. And here we are, because now the pro whites on Twitter, they're basically the new pro blacks. So do you remember the pro blacks from like 2015, 2014? The black man is God, this, the black
Oh
woman is,
yeah.
and so basically now the pro white,
Grand Rising Queen.
yeah, so the pro whites are basically taking the pro blacks place because pro blackness is kind of dying. It's not really,
Yeah.
nobody really takes it seriously. The only pro blacks are basically the women, and they're just basically pro black women. So
Yeah.
it's not.
No,
It's so
literally, you're
yeah,
correct.
yeah. Oh, hold on for a second. What do you think about this soundbite I just added from Dr. Umar Johnson? I've been dying to add this.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
I've been dying to add that. I'm talking
No, I
about for
like
years.
that one. I like that one.
People are not even gonna know where they found that sound. But I want to add like sound bites on here that people like have no idea where that came from. I see a lot of, what I see, been seeing a lot of people doing recently. The "Why Are You Gay" full interview, the interview from Uganda. Have you
Um,
seen that?
well, I think I've seen the full interview years ago when it first came out because I've been seeing him for at least a year, like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
meme.
yeah. He's going viral. He made his
Yeah,
own
no, he went
page. Yeah.
viral, but like even at least a year ago or a year and a half ago, I would see like people would send me his thing, like, "Are you gay?" Like even before he went super viral, and then I just kept seeing it ever since.
I remember like in 2019, like being at like my job, I was playing the full interview to my coworkers. I just found it so funny. But like it's funny, it seems like this year people have finally took the time to watch the full interview because now people are incorporating like certain parts of that interview and making memes out of that
Oh
full interview.
yeah.
So people are starting to be more creative with that. Like they're really they're really diving in. They're realizing this is probably the best interview in history. You know what I mean? And people don't understand, like, in Uganda or Ghana, like the media is brutal. Like
Wow.
they don't you see how like in America or England they kind of dance around, they try to trick you into saying something and then they make up a narrative. No,
Oh
in
yeah.
in Africa, what they do, they tell you straight what they at. I'm talking about they'll tell you right in your face what it is. There's no mincing of words. They don't hide their words. They really will come up to you talking about why are you gay? Stuff like they don't hide behind nothing. Like I remember even
Yeah.
I give the example recently is a Ghana soccer coach. He didn't qualify for the African Cup of Nations and they ripped him. I'm talking about the journalists are in his face talking about you're not even a real coach. Where who's your like he's like, where did you get your coaching license? Like I'm talking about straight up, like it's like what American reporter would just get up in the middle of a Super Bowl meeting talking about you're not a real coach, you're not even a who would even say that? And it's the blatant bluntness, the honesty. People are just not used to it. So I am happy that people are finally incorporating, the full interview, because the full interview of that Uganda interview is gold. It's really mean gold. You should be able to make a million memes. I'm talking about off even 5 minutes off that interview. You can make like
Wow.
100,000 memes. And I did say I was gonna do a I did say I was gonna do a live stream covering that interview, but I don't think I'll do that. I don't know if they're gonna do copyright on it. I don't know how that works, but I do got to cover that interview because there's a lot of nuance to it. There's a lot of nuance to that full interview. I remember somebody had asked me when I was at work when I showed the interview, because the pastor had asked the rainbow representative. He had asked her, what's your tribal name, what's your family name, and he was asked, and it was a, I think it was a Caucasian dude too, if I'm not mistaken. He was like, why doesn't the LGBT representative tell him where she's from and all that? I'm like, bro, she can't tell him that. Are you serious?
Oh.
I'm like, they're gonna hunt her down and her family. I'm like, you ain't never been to like one of these spots. They don't play that gay ish over there, dog. And I was trying to tell him I'm like, Americans, y'all got it easy, where you can be alternative, you can be gender fluid, you can be rainbow, you can be. I'm talking about in America, you can be a dude and just say, look, I'm not looking for marriage. I'm just gonna be by myself. In Africa, even in Africa, that don't even work. There's no MGTOW, and like you can't be MGTOW in certain spots. They expect you to be a man and be a husband and raise kids. They expect you to be a woman and they expect you to be a wife. It's different rules, man. And people got to like that cult. Like, man, there's a lot of people out here. They don't understand. He was like, why don't he just tell her where what city or tribe she's from, so pastor can get off her neck? And I'm like, bro, she can't tell him that. If she tells him what city or what tribe she's from, what's your clan, because they do still do.
That's a death wish.
It's a death wish
Out there, yeah.
You might as well give, what's that character from Death Note, the demon, the Ryuk, whatever. It's like you're like, just let him write down the names of my family real quick. And they're gonna, anybody associated with that tribe or that clan, they're gonna be ridiculed. Nobody's gonna go to their church because of Pepe. So people don't understand it. It is that serious,
especially depending on where she lives in Africa.
Yeah,
because I had one friend from college, and it's funny because related to the black pill shit, he was a virgin until he was 25, which is hilarious. But after he graduated from Philly from college, he moved back to Ghana because his family already had they had like a separate house waiting for him because he came from his family. I think they were like upper middle class, so they had a house in Maryland, and then they still had like a house or two in Ghana. So anyway, so he lost his V card by now, but oh shit, I forgot my damn point. Shit, I forgot. Fuck.
You said something about
because I forgot because you mentioned, because I was going to say wherever he lives in Ghana is where because over in Ghana his family's rich, with the currency or whatever. So over there he's in the equivalent of like an upper middle class city or neighborhood in Ghana. So like if I went over to visit him, it would be like more Americanized, or, you know what I mean, more luxuries and stuff. So I'm just thinking, if it's in a less, like, let's say this lady that was on an interview lives in a not so secure town in Africa, and they know her location, her tribe, or where, what city, whatever, like that's a death wish. It's not even, because not like America where it's like a robust, they got police, they got U.S. Marshals, they got all type of shit. It's Africa, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you got beef in Africa, you're cooked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They don't understand because what's it? Both of my parents Haitian, right? Even though they came here in the 80s, 90s. People don't understand. Like in different countries, corruption is not. It's not corruption. It's not even a secret. It's like a handshake. Like I remember going back to Haiti in 2017 for vacation.
It's just business as usual.
Like my aunt, she bribed somebody at the airport, and we was able to skip all types of lines. We was like, who's this dude? Why is he helping? And then I was like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm talking about, you know how long them lines are in like
Oh yeah.
one of them here, and then the airport was so tight, people was losing their luggage. Like, you know how the belts, they're
Wow.
supposed to be like, they're supposed to be like 20 belts, right? 15 belts,
Mm-hmm.
and there's all those belts are long, right? But in Haiti, it's one belt, bro. And it's just a
Oh
small
yeah.
and it's a small ass belt, and people are sitting there trying to push each other out. I was like, oh hell no.
Oh
I had it,
wow.
man. I had to grab all my family's most of my families. I had to get my luggage, my siblings luggage, and then I had to get my aunt's luggage, my other aunt that came on the trip. Man, the
Wow.
stress. Oh, let me show you a story real quick. Tyrone, let me wait. Your name's Steph though, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Steph, so my bad. So Steph, let me show you the
No,
story
I
real
mean
quick.
I'm so used to both. I answered it either or now at this
I
point.
saw I saw like a comment you had to go off on somebody. They're like, why did you copy Steph's code? I'm like, well, I think Steph is actually his name.
Oh yeah, no, on my
I
the
was
black dude on, I forget what channel it was. It was I think it was like FedEx Fearless or one of them channels. I forget what
yes.
channel it was.
Yeah, it was that. It was FedEx. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
I'm like, because he was like, oh, you stole another man's name. And I'm like, I was literally born before him. Like, I'm pretty sure my parents didn't know that he would have a YouTube channel 30 years later when I was born in the fucking 80s.
It was a lot. First of all, your
And it's
channel
not
just
even my channel name. My channel name is Educated Tyrone. Like
do you know
the
how
Steph is cold shit is just it's my tag, like the
I,
tag name.
and it's no disrespect to Steph is cool because I like him, but
Oh yeah, no, I fuck with him. I'm not even
when I
yeah.
was younger, I knew a whole lot of people. I knew a whole lot of Stephans and Stephs, and they would kind of associate their names with Steph Cold, Steph Breezy. I knew a lot of people like that when I was younger. I'm talking about
Yeah.
their street name was Steph is this, Steph is that. You know what I mean? So I was like, I was kind of confused on the outrage. You know what I mean? On
Yeah, he
on
was
on on the
reaching for, because he didn't really have any other insult to go to at that point.
Yeah. So what was that, a random commenter or was that FitX himself?
No, that was a random commenter.
Yeah.
But it
Because
was
I
on a
was like,
FedEx
yeah.
video though.
So have you seen this story right here? So this guy, remember the guy they caught this dude
Oh, in the
at
drive-through.
with his
He had
whole
no pants
thing,
on.
and they called him masturbate. I'm sorry, gooning himself, right? Um, to that, it was like a bikini workshop. It's like a coffee shop where women wear bikinis or whatever,
Oh. I
and they
thought it was
caught
at a
him.
regular rest, like a McDonald's.
No, 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 no. He was at a bikini like coffee shop. So they serve people in bikinis. So he came up to the spot and they caught him with his pants down with
And
his
I
thing
saw the
literally
video
out.
where he
Yeah.
drives off with his pants. I saw the video.
So you do know he
He
deleted
he
himself.
self-deleted, right?
Yeah, yeah. And he
Yeah.
leaves behind a wife and like I think a kid. Yeah, and a kid.
Wow.
So
That's
here's what I
crazy.
find interesting about this story. So you see how like everybody's like just kind of laughing at him, you know, about this stuff. And people making memes about that. He's look at the last goon. This is crazy. So, so I'm not saying it's not funny, but do you remember when I showed the audience this story about this woman who got caught gooning herself with
I
a
didn't
she
see
she
this.
so do
This
you remember she was at a beach and she brought a uh her toy with her, and they caught her gooning in public and she
Wow.
got arrested. And when she found out that she got put on video, she committed self-deletion. Now,
Wow.
the dichotomy is the comments for her, there was so much sympathy for her.
Oh, of course.
And I'm like, yo, there was like kids out there and she's sitting there.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And like
And
it was like,
his was just in the car by himself.
yeah, you know what I mean? So you see how like let me see if I can show the comments. I might have to show both videos, but I remember this.
Dead. Police body cam video.
Let me see if I can give people a background story of this one real quick, because some people might forget, but I did show this story, and I was like, why are people feeling bad for her in the comment section? I'm like, she a perv. You know what I mean? She just out in the public with her thing.
Yeah, with
She got
kids
caught.
on the beach is wild too.
You know what I mean? But we don't know. Well, I don't know. She was looking at the kids, but she was in a public space. There was kids there. There was people there.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying compare to the guy, because at least taking the gender out of it, the guy was inside his own car.
Yeah.
Where like if it was a guy on the beach, even if he wasn't, it's not the fact that he's looking at kids. I'm not going to assume that, but it's like
But no, you're right. This is worse than that
public
guy.
indecency or whatever that charge is. That's public indecent or whatever the fuck the charge is.
No, you're right. This is worse, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
but it was met with so much sympathy. I'm still shocked at how sympathetic the public was to her when they found out she deleted herself. But let me play this video real quick.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna mute real quick.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Was she shamed to death over an embarrassing incident on a beach?
Please, don't do this to me. Are you serious?
That's the question swirling after this woman, a realtor, was found dead. Police body cam video starts with cops approaching 35-year-old Christina Revels Glick.
Yeah, multiple calls about you.
Some cops say witnesses saw her using
multiple calls. They said multiple calls. So it's not like just a Karen that called her doing, like, she was out here wilding. She probably thought nobody could see her, like that guy in the car. Right? They said we got multiple calls about you. So, and usually people be giving women passes for doing stuff like this, because I done caught women doing all types of stuff at a beach, in a car, in a shoot. When I used to work at the movie theaters, Ainsley could tell you, I'm talking about, we had people women that we worked with, they would bring their boyfriends over just so they can do God knows what in the back of the theater, right? But
that's wild.
These like, I don't know if you've ever seen Ainsley in the chat. He can literally tell you. I'm not lying about this. Like, we would have girls. I'm talking about, I remember one specific girl that was like our supervisor. She brought her boyfriend to the movie theaters so she can literally do that, just to do that. And these are the things that women get away with. But you see that he said we got multiple calls about.
Oh, Chris, I gotta go take a piss. I'll be right back.
And I got you. But he says we got multiple calls about you. That means they just couldn't even ignore what she was doing. That means I'm like, dang, she really wanted to get that nut off that bad. Wow.
Some cops say witnesses saw her using an adult toy on the beach.
I'm sorry, I was stressed out.
She's put in cuffs.
This is ridiculous.
So you see how, like, she made excuses for it. Look, I'm sorry, I was stressed out. And I don't know if you ever saw the full video. I think AJ had played the full video on his channel, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. When he played the full video, I don't want to play the full video. She was making all types of excuses on why she was gooning in public. You know what I mean? And she basically admitted to it. And I was like, bruh, at least the dude in the car, he had the decency to be in the car. And when he got caught, he just drove off. He's just like, well, I'm beat. I'm shot. I'm shot.
Ridiculous. What am I being arrested for?
She says she thought she was by herself.
And that's why the dude, he deleted himself as soon as possible, because they knew they were just going to be at his door literally in 5 seconds, be like, because he was definitely going to get arrested after after what he did at the coffee spot. He already knew he was going to get arrested. His reputation was going to be dragged through the mud. He's probably going to have to, he's definitely going to have to register as a, S offender. He was definitely going to have to register himself. Yeah, they would have definitely put him through it.
A family saw it. They had kids. What? There was nobody around me.
She's led in cuffs through a restaurant.
See what I mean? They said there was a family. they had kids. Like, this is wild.
She's led in cuffs through a restaurant near Savannah, Georgia, and taken to a patrol car. The incident was reported on the Smoking Gun website under the headline, "Woman Busted for Pleasure Session on Beach." She was said to have gone on a downward spiral following the report and ended her life. According to the coroner's report, the cause of death was gunshot wound to the head. The manner of death is certified as suicide. Neighbor Garrett White let local police into her apartment. He spoke to Les Trent about the beach incident.
You do not believe this was handled correctly and the police should not have been called?
No.
So this is the problem, right? What that I have right here. The simps. Because I'm pretty sure it was a woman that had called. It was women that were calling the police on her. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was, I'm about 80 to 90% sure it was a woman with her kids at the beach, and they were just like, "Yo, are you serious?" But when it comes, men are simps. Like, with this channel, we can't save everybody. Men are simps. Now I already know with that dude. I'm pretty sure they got other dudes. Whoever the male manager was at the restaurant, they was probably making sure we got to get his license plate, we got to get his whatever. This girl was wilding, and here you're gonna have a dude here talking about, "Oh, I don't think this was handled correctly." What? You can't be gooning in public, because I already know with that same guy right here.
You do not believe this was handled correctly and the police should not have been called?
No, because look what it led to. Somebody taking their life.
A sad end after a single.
So this better not be the same dude with this story right here. The last goon. When it came to this dude, this same dude right here that said this wasn't handled correctly. This dude right here, he's probably ripping that guy a new one even after he committed self-deletion, left behind a wife and kids, which is very cowardly in my opinion. If you got wife and kids, you might have to, particularly if you have a kid, you might have to stick this one out. But that's my opinion on that. But he's probably ripping him a new one at his job.
Chris, real quick, you know why? Well, at least with me personally, and I think some of the other people, when we were laughing at the light-skinned dude, because I didn't see it on Twitter. I seen it, or maybe it was Twitter, I forget. But I didn't look into the story that much. And the part you said about it being like chicks serving with bikinis on or whatever you said, I thought he pulled up like that and he was just jerking off at a regular restaurant, like a McDonald's. So regular McDonald's worker. So my perception of it, I thought he was just a weirdo. Because if I would have known, like if it was like a Hooters type of restaurant where chicks are like, my perception would have been completely different. I would have been like, well, yeah, he shouldn't have really been again, when I saw the clip, I didn't see any context. I just saw the clip of him pulling off from the drive-through, like where he opens his window or whatever, and he already has his pants down as soon as the video starts, basically. And then the girl says something, and he notices like, oh shit, she's recording, and he drives off. So from that, I'm thinking, yo, this creep, he went up to a random like McDonald's or Wendy's, and he's jerking off, and this regular chick is recording him because she noticed in the camera he was, he had whatever. So that's why I personally was laughing at him when I seen all the jokes and stuff, because I'm like, man, this creep ass weirdo on some Pee Wee Herman shit. But when if it's like Hooters type restaurant where they're selling the female beauty, like if it's kind of like they're selling ass or titties or bikinis, that's a little bit different. Like, I'm not gonna. I mean, he didn't deserve to die either way. I mean, I'm sorry, he didn't deserve to be deleted, but that's a lot different than a dude rolling up to a random McDonald's. You see what I'm saying? That's a lot. That's disingenuous. That's dude. That's like recording a dude doing something at a strip club and then posting it on TikTok, and then the caption says, look at this dude grabbing on this girl's ass at a high school graduation party. And you see what I'm saying? And then 12 hours later, somebody texts you like, yo, bro, if you look at the actual video, those are grown women. That's a strip club. You may have wilded out because of the caption, but all of those women in the video are strippers, and he's touching their ass, and they're way over 21. They're like 30 years old or 25 or whatever. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that can affect how but either way, the girl still would have got more benefit of the doubt to him because she's a girl or a woman, whatever. So
no, but you're right. You're right. But I don't like the reaction from this man right here saying the police handled it wrong. I just don't like that.
No.
Wait, he said,
look what it led to. Somebody taking their life.
So right here. So they asked him right here. I'm about to play from the beginning. I'll show. Let me show you real quick.
Incident.
You do not believe this was handled correctly and the police should not have been called?
No, because look what it led to. Somebody taking their life.
A sad end after a single.
So that was her neighbor. That's her.
Right, okay.
There.
So he's biased.
Exactly. But still, like, and I like how you brought up the point of the disingenuousness of the other story where they don't even tell you it's a bikini bar. They left that out on purpose to make him, because if they said it was a bikini bar, it would have been like, oh, okay, I saw what happened. They just they framed it in that way. That's just how media does.
Yeah, because you see how that totally changes the story.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
That's because I didn't know it was a bikini bar until you covered the story. Because I seen this the original thing I saw with him speeding away. I saw that like earlier this morning.
And mind you, I'm not even making excuses. I'm just saying this is where he was. But that's what people do. They leave out certain things because it would actually make sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean in the grand. In the grand scheme of things, but this is what that's
and they want to craft their narrative a certain way.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just a classic. That's just classic media, manipulation. This is what media like. That's what media does.
Oh yeah, it ain't nothing new about that.
That's a classic media trick. I was like, until you brought it up, I was like, because there's a lot of people that said what you said. They said, oh, I didn't know it was it was a bikini bar.
Yeah,
like, this is what they do. This is exactly what they do. But let me show you the comments of this video because I found it funny. It's crazy. So they said right here. So they said, so you have a woman right here. She's saying, this is downright humiliating that they would show this, especially after her passing. I hate news outlets. Disgusting. Now, come on. You can't be gooning in public, man or woman. You can't be doing that. So it's a woman, because it's a woman, it's different. And I'm talking about she in a public space. Like the guy was in his car.
Yeah.
Oh, and hold on. Let me rewind.
Because the thing is, doing something in your car, it's not like you're outside. Like you're literally inside your car. So it's like the only person that could possibly affect is if you were parked somewhere near public groups and there was like people standing right in front of your car. But like, I'm not like when I walk to work or if I get home from work or if I go to the store or the grocery store or something and I walk by, let's say I walk by like an empty car on my way home near like a parking lot. I'm not going to like stop in front of them and just be like a Karen and be like, is this person doing some illegal activity? You see what I'm saying? Like they're literally inside their fucking car. Whereas this chick was on a beach. So I could be on a family vacation and I'm like, oh, fuck it. I'm in Jersey or Maryland at the beach. Let me take my daughter and walk down, because there's a ride at the end of the beach. We're going to look at the, beach and then we'll get to the amusement ride, whatever. So that means I have to take my daughter or my family down the beach. So I might have to walk near this lady that is using a rose in public. That's entirely different from me walking to a Target and some random dude in a car in a parking lot where there's like there's literally like 100 cars parked at the same time in a fucking Walmart or Target. And I'm going to focus on this one dude in one random car out of the 100 and be like, oh my God, I got to call the cops. This dude in a random parking lot is jerking off. Like, nigga, why would I care? I wouldn't notice. I wouldn't look in their car I wouldn't look in their car long enough to notice they were doing that. Like,
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
the comments had me laugh. He said, the young Doka said, not the rose. Like, they be, man, I'm telling you, they talk about how dudes be pervs and all this stuff, but women will have all these toys, all these objects. They talking about, these sex robots they're gonna take over. I'm like, they've already taken over. You see the stuff that women be having in their draw? Like, they got like, I remember, dude,
Yeah,
I
it's
remember
already
being,
the difference is
yeah,
normalized for women and it's stigmatized for men. Now, obviously, it's different for men because that's a whole like a rose, like a miniature hand toy versus a full adult like size robot. Obviously, is way different. Which is why any of you black pill or incel niggas who ever get a doll, I'm sorry, I can't co-sign that. So,
no, I
you
feel you.
know.
I
But
feel you.
either way, to be logically consistent, you're correct because
Yeah,
all these chicks, like, because it's not even like, because I don't know, I forget, I haven't done research on it, but it's something like I think if you use the rose too much, it can give you nerve damage or something like that, or maybe
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, that I
But
mean
why do you
that
think? But why do you think
even
most?
a slight chance of getting nerve damage is enough for me to not fuck with my dick. If they were
But
like, yo, Stefan, if you jerk off um once a week, um your dick might not work or something, I would just stop. I'd be like, well, fuck. You see what I'm saying? Like that's like, but I haven't really researched it, but
but this is
yeah.
why most women, they don't even understand. Like, most women they can't even be satisfied by most men because they don't understand. They're literally desensitizing them,
Yeah,
themselves.
no, yeah,
That
that
but you can't tell a girl that. I remember trying to tell a girl that, and she and I was even being a perv. Like, she had made like a post on something. She said, I can't find a battery to my what, and I was like, maybe you should ease off that thing. That's probably not good for you. I done told dudes, like, you
oh
can't
yeah.
be OD gooning like that. It sometimes, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
sometimes it ruins the sexual experience for you. That's just my opinion, right? But she
You
took it
know,
as, why you,
I think that no, I agree. And some people make, because I don't know my audience. I mean, maybe actually my audience probably would just they probably would agree with you too. Because I think it's a lot of vol cells in my audience. Or like dudes that get chicks, but they're not really that pressed, so they smash here and there. But no, I agree with you. Cause yeah. No, you can keep going, my bad.
and mind you, I'm not like some one of these dudes like no fap. I don't believe in that. I'm just saying you
Oh yeah,
might
no, I'm
have
not
to.
even coming from at it from a
Yeah,
no fat perspective,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
from a perspective of keeping things fresh. I
yeah,
think, like, let's say a dude was like, "Yo, Tyrone," or "Yo, Steph, I'm gonna be honest. My girl dumped me last year, like like a year and a half ago. And I went on a couple dates, but I'm gonna be real. The last 6 months, I probably gooned like twice or three times a month or whatever. To me, that's not even that crazy. I'd be like, nigga, that's normal shit. Now, if he was like, yo, Stefan, I be gooning like 2 or 3 times a day, I'm like, okay,
yeah.
bro, you gotta, whether you black pill, blue pill, red pill, gooning 2 to 3 times a day is overkill. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's that's like, even because I've seen, even before you mentioned it, I've heard other people say it, and even without doing too much research into it, I know doing that like too much is definitely a bad thing regardless. But if a dude was like, yo, Tyrone, I'm gonna be real, I gooned like 3 times last month. I'm like, what? 3 times in a whole month? That's nothing. You know what I mean? That's not. I'm not one of those dudes who's like, oh my God, if you masturbate once a year, you're a loser who can't get girls. I'm like, bro, that's once in 365 days. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because some
But right
dudes are
here,
way too, they try to overcorrect and they're like, oh, you watched porn once in the last 3 months? You're a weirdo. And I'm like, nigga, what? That's once in 90 days? Are you kidding me? So some dudes try to overcorrect. They're like, oh, if you watch porn more than twice a month, you're a weirdo. I'm like, nigga, it's 30 days in a month. What are you talking about? Like I've watched porn with girlfriends. Like watching porn once or twice a month or once a week or whatever the hell, that is entirely different from an incel who hasn't smashed in like 6 years and is gooning 2 times a day, 5 or 7 days a week. That we can't be disingenuous and just lump everybody in the same group. I'm sorry. That's yeah.
so right here with the video, this is the part I wanted to get back to. The part where they said it was there was a family on the beach.
Ridiculous. What am I being arrested for?
She says she thought she was by herself.
A family saw it. They had kids. What? There was nobody around me.
She's led.
You know, yikes. You know, to me that's worse. To me that's worse than, than the dude. But I wanted to also focus on that comment section. So I already showed you the one with Rachel, whatever her name's, but let me zoom in on the comment section. Oh crap, Star Report is on too. Fuck. I'll watch it tomorrow. That's fine. But let me see. Oh yeah, I'm kind of exposing myself on the suggested. Like I wonder if people like look at people's suggestions and be like, damn, that's what you be watching all day. Yeah, I do. But right here it says she did something weird and stupid, but it didn't need to be televised to the world. No reason to be shamed across the planet. Now everybody shaming dude today. Mr. the last goon. Everybody making memes. We reining in on his parade. Mind you, he not only did he commit self-deletion, he left behind a wife and a kid. So
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
crazy.
This woman was single. So really we should kind of do that for her because she's not really
Yeah.
leaving that. She don't got nothing to leave behind. She's just an average single broad that's gonna have cats later on.
Yeah, like all she has is her living family that was there already, but he actually has family that were depending on him to financially support them and protect them. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
This is actually not. It's actually a bit of a tragedy, but I still find it funny though. I still find it
yeah.
funny.
It's still
But
it's funny. It's funny
yeah,
regardless. Like it. Because I'm not going to be a snowflake and be like, oh no, like, because it's one thing, like, I'm going to still compare these two situations. Like, it's still, like, obviously people showed their bias because they reacted to the two so differently. But even then, both situations are still objectively funny. So I'm going to laugh regardless.
yeah.
But if
But
you actually set me aside and ask my opinion, then I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, the light skinned dude is still a weirdo, somewhat, I guess.
mm-hmm.
But like, because when you add the context that it's a bikini bar, he's technically a weirdo, but it's really not that much. It's like maybe he's like 10% weirdo or 20%. Because when you add that into the context, it really changes. And like, because the thing is, Pee Wee Herman jacking off in Central Park or like some random park in a big city or like a random public movie theater, that's different than a law-abiding citizen gooning in like on like a nude beach or like or a sex club or like uh a a burlesque dancing club with private rooms in the back. Where you see what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I can't take a dude out of a strip club and be like, hey, you just paid this girl $200 and you had your pants down in the private room in the back of a strip club. And I'm going to expose you because you're a lawyer at this big law firm in Philadelphia. It's like, he would look at me like I'm crazy because he's like, bro, I
so
was in a strip club. Like,
truth
if you ignore the context, that defeats the. You see what I'm saying? Like, nigga, if you could have took a picture of me at a bachelor party years ago at a strip club and be like, "Hey, Tyrone, I seen you threw money on this girl, and you had a girlfriend at the time, and you were in New York throwing money on a stripper." But if you avoid the context, like, yeah, I was at one of my college friends' bachelor party, and I didn't even do anything sexual with any woman that night. I literally just threw money on whatever, and I got a drink at the bar. That's it. You see what I'm saying? Like, but
Yeah.
you know, so
But truth,
they're framing it disingenuously, but it's still funny. So, you know, I like niggas will call me a fraud, be like, oh, Tyrone, you were laughing at him just 2 days ago or a day ago. You were laughing at him. I'm like, yeah, I was laughing at him because I didn't know the full context, because I was bamboozled because I thought he was at a McDonald's. So you can't fucking blame me. So two things can be true. He can be a creep, and the people that shared his video can be disingenuous, and they can be liars that are trying to craft a narrative, just like mainstream media when they get their hands on a story and they want to protect the cops, or they want to protect politicians, or they want to protect XYZ. So they present the story and the facts in a certain light. It's the same shit.
yeah. So Truth Hunter said he's mad because he lost his jerk material. He's talking about the
Oh,
guy in the truck.
no, dude.
Yeah. So I wanted to highlight that comment real quick from Truth Hunter. But let me go back to the comment
Yo.
section. If you can, if you know, if the audience is watching, if you're looking at the comment section, I know you already saw most of these, but it's most of it is they feel bad for her. You know what I mean? So I'm still trying to look. I saw something that was crazy. Somebody said, yes, she was humiliated far more than any serious criminal. What a tragic waste of her life, all because she made one mistake. Somebody said, this
Wow.
is really sad. I don't condone what she was doing, but we seriously need to stop publicizing everybody's mistakes. Blah, blah,
Oh
blah.
God.
Somebody said, why the hell is this being publicized? Somebody said people wouldn't be saying all of this about a dude who was found doing the same on a beach near kids. Facts. And this is the comment I wanted to highlight. So just because he said facts, so right here, he says people wouldn't be saying this about a dude who was found doing the same on a beach near kids.
Exactly.
So right when he says that, the first reaction he gets is, oh, stop. But this is the problem. This is the you know what I mean? This is the problem. And even like trying to have an intelligence an intelligent discourse, right? You will try to bring up just logic or just correlations, or you try to bring up
Yeah.
different comparisons. Now, you know what? Probably that if you said something like this, people are gonna be like, "What, you think guys are supposed to be able to do that?" That's how you're gonna get from the average like normie. They're
Oh,
just
of
gonna be like,
course.
"Oh, are you trying to defend?" No, we're just saying this is, you know what I mean? Let me give you another example real quick, because it's really hard to have intelligent discourse. I'm gonna show. I know I'm going a little
I'm
bit
glad
off.
that second comment though says the truth is the truth. So I'm glad somebody was right on their ass.
Yeah, if you try to, like, for most things, people don't really want to have an intelligent discourse. So something happened yesterday on Instagram.
No, because Chris, when I see other people like that get to a comment, well, this is 8 months ago, these comments, but in general, if I get on a recent comment or recent like meme or viral, meme or photo or video, if I see other people that agree with me already defending my point, that gives me more hope, because I go into it and I'm like, oh, okay, there's already other reasonable people who have already kind of touched down. Because a lot of times I'll be the first voice of reason in like a room full of black pillars, or like a room full of like pickup artists and red pillars and black pillars or doomers. And I'm the only person with an objective, like kind of neutral perspective. And I'm like, damn, I'm a lone wolf. But when in situations like this and other, especially like just random run of the mill Americans in YouTube comments and they agree with me, I'm like, good. That's good. That means I have approval on this issue. I'm not the only lone voice of reason in a country of idiots. There are other smart people out there that agree with me. So it makes it boosts my morale a little bit. Maybe that's just me. Because America, I mean, Chris, you probably are aware. Like when I got my SAT scores, and mind you, I didn't finish the SAT. When I noticed when they tell you the percentage of the country that you do better than in the SAT, when I got that, I was like, yo, this country is fucking stupid. Cause I was like, yo, I did better than like 88% of the country in the reading and writing portion of the SAT, and I didn't even finish the fucking test. I was like, yo, Americans are that. Because when I was like a kid and a teenager, I thought Americans were stupid because I was super nerdy. You know, and I got a Blasian mom, you know, yada yada, whatever. I was reading since I was an infant or whatever. But when I became an adult and before I went to college, I was like, yo, I didn't even finish the SAT because I'm a slow test taker. So when it's time tests, sometimes I don't always finish. And I'm like, so that means it was questions I didn't even fully answer. And I still scored better than almost 90% of the fucking country. I was like, you niggas are that fucking dumb. Like that just because of course, I encounter Americans like commenting dumb shit on YouTube and Instagram. But like that SAT shit, when I was a teenager, no moment in my life signifies Americans being dumber than that. Cause I was like, yo, I didn't get it. Cause I'm like, yo, I don't consider I was in honors. I was in, AT and honors classes and yada, yada. But I was always like the laziest smart person. I was like, yeah, I'm here, but I'm not a genius. I'm just here. So I was like, yo, I'm lazy as fuck. And I didn't even finish the test. And Americans are just dumber than me. Like when I'm not even trying, I was like, yo, this. And Chris, I can tell from your channel, you're probably smarter than like 85 or 90% of the country as well. I don't mean that,
I'll
I'm not
say
trying to be an
this.
asshole. I'm just being honest. It is what it is.
So you know what's interesting? I don't, because like school, I was terrible in school, but I did find it interesting, like, especially past the age of 21, when things started kind of clicking for me, I did realize that most people are not it's not even just the whole intelligence thing. It's just to have a civil discussion, just off a difference of opinion. So I have to be very careful on who I'm talking to, what I'm talking about. I used to think that I was the dumb one, but it turns out, especially when I went to college, I was like, oh, never mind. So, and mind you, I'm a dropout. So
I'm a dropout too.
so I do find it strange. You have like particularly women with these degrees and these things, and they make terrible analogies. They don't know.
Oh my God. Don't
They
get
don't
me
understand.
started.
They don't understand like cognitive dissonance.
Don't get me
all
started
these
on
things.
them.
But let me bring this point up real quick, because this is the stuff that I'm talking about. So this meme right here, right? So it shows a picture of a couple from the year 2024. The couple is 20. The man is 29. The woman is 20. Her first kid is 4 years old. The kid that he has in his hand is 9 months old. So the caption says she should be at the club, and then somebody said there's a much bigger issue here, right? So if you do the math,
wait, is that kid the 4-year-old? Is that by him or a different baby dad though?
You see, that's the thing. That's another thing people did. I said that in another comment, but people didn't even take that into consideration.
Because if he's from a different baby dad, then that has nothing to do with him. Now, if it's from him, obviously that's weird because it's like, bro, you were like 25.
But this is the point right here. So people don't understand. So that means if we're taking these ages, if we're taking it at face value, that means she got impregnated by him. If we're taking it at face value, when he was 25 and she was 16. Now, Americans, I consider that weird, right? Me personally, right? But
they're from Europe or some shit.
If they're from Europe or if they from Brazil, they have a different like reality. Like I think in Brazil,
because their consent laws are different than America.
Yeah, like Brazil is like 14 or 15, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but it's like 15 or 14. I found that out when I was like a kid. Because I remember seeing, I like saw something crazy where they said like it was like a Brazilian chick. She had like an older boyfriend. I was like, oh, okay. But then I saw the chick's age. I was like, what? and then somebody was like, oh no, it was like an older kid. He was like, no, they have different. And I thought, nah, he lying. Nope. And then I started looking up like the Brazilian soccer stars and all this stuff. I was like, oh, okay. Now I see what's going on. So in Brazil, they have different laws. And then in Europe, I think I forgot which country. I think it was Iceland. I could be wrong. But I knew it was like one European country. It was like 13 or something crazy like that. That's crazy. Like that's crazy.
No, that's okay. That's
crazy.
Over the top. They need to be put in prison. Somebody need to be put in prison. I don't know who it is.
But I'll say this but then in England it's 16. And then people don't understand, even in the United States, even though you can't be 30 and then the girl is 16, but in most states 16 is the age, right?
Yeah, because in PA is 16, but like I think the general age obviously is 18, but if you're like a dude that's 18, 19, or 20, then it would be 16.
So I want to show you.
But to me, that makes sense because to me, if you're like a dude that's a senior in high school and you're dating a sophomore or junior, you shouldn't be penalized like that. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense.
But this is what I wanted to.
If a dude that's 17 is dating a 16-year-old and then I'm like, they're literally the same people. Like you're not.
But that's not the point I wanted to show was just the discourse right here. Because I was like, have you guys traveled outside of America? Because they don't look American. That's the first thing I said. I'm like, well, they don't look American. They probably have a different set of rules. Now, when I said this, I said, have you guys traveled outside of America? And people said, no, it's wrong everywhere, just not in the USA. And I said, no, it's not. Then the problem is I started getting all these comments. Oh, it sounds like you defend this type of behavior. I'm like, no, I'm just saying you guys think these are bad people, but that's just their reality. You know what I mean? And I don't know why people can't understand this. Like, this is the example that I use now. So I'm like, okay, since you think I'm wrong for saying, well, that's not my country. Those are not my rules. Those are not my people. They operate on a different length, right? So I'm like, so why do we have all these pro LGBT transformers protesting for Palestine? And meanwhile, they wouldn't even be allowed to be LGBT if they lived in Palestine. Doesn't that make them stupid? Or is that just them just saying, hey, their country, their rules, I'm not in charge of what happens there. I just know that what's being done to them is wrong. So that's why I'm protesting. So if I brought that up, people say I'm foul for doing that, right? But you guys are what? You guys are pro LGBT, but you're protesting for Palestine. So that makes y'all retards then compared to me, because I don't even get involved with stuff like that when it comes to, age of consent, overseas stuff. I don't even get involved in stuff like that. But unfortunately,
I don't get involved in it because that doesn't involve me directly.
Hold on for one second.
Hold on. Debate.
Hold on for 1 second. I just got to say, like,
oh, go ahead.
It doesn't, like, all the points that I make in life, I'm gonna defend it. it's not a matter of just like, oh, it's an emotional thing. I'm just gonna say, well, if I have a if I just have just a question or something, I'm just gonna ask the question. It's not me defending this behavior. I'm just gonna ask the question. But unfortunately, I've I've taken the bullet way too many times, just trying to ask a question. As you know, Steph, recently I got a strike on my channel. You know why? Because I said incels are not the problem. It's a video that I made 10 months ago.
Wait, you got a strike for what? Hate speech or what?
Yep. It said for hate speech.
Oh my god. Wait, did you
And I
try
was
to
in all
cuz
in all I
did you try to repeal it? Cuz I
no no
I
so
I
so so I
appealed
so
I
I
appealed a hate speech thing, and they actually they agree with me because I forget what the reason was, but
so I was
they immediately reversed it.
so I appealed it, and literally 5 minutes later, 5 minutes, I'm not joking, 5 minutes later, they said no. I got a
Wow.
response in 5 minutes. So in that video, all I was explaining was, this is really what the incel community is. You got the race cells, you got this. They're not part of the RP. I was
Oh, it was just like a
classifying.
general
I was
explanation video. Like
just a
it
general
wasn't like a
explanation.
controversial video.
Like I wasn't even going in like I did in my
No,
live stream.
no. That's what
You
I'm
know what
saying.
I
That's what
mean?
I'm saying.
So
You
yeah,
weren't
yeah.
saying like anything. You weren't like risque or doomerish or crazy.
Nope, none of that. And they found a video. I'm talking about. I got the strike in October, and it's either October or November, and the video was made in like February or January. I was like, that's dude. Like, who's on my
No, but
somebody's going through my channel with a fine tooth comb. But
well,
so the
some
point
of it could be by people reporting it. Not in your case. I mean, because I don't think you have a lot of hate watchers, but like hypothetically, if you're like, let's say you were like me or like some channel where you like debate or beef with a lot of people, you could have a lot of, I mean, hypothetically, like a lot of people mass report like one specific video.
yeah, I get that. But the point I'm trying
But
to
for
make
your
is,
channel, I don't see that happening because you're not like like
but
your
the
channel is super. You probably have the most like peaceful, neutral. Because like any other channel that covers what you cover, like as far as red pill or manosphere stuff or manosphere adjacent stuff, a lot of those guys, they're actually red pill or they're black pill, so they're even worse. But you're kind of like, you cover those manosphere related topics, but you're kind of like you're not like inflammatory. You don't come off as you hate women. Like if I showed my coworker your channel, they would be like, "Oh, yeah, he's a chill dude." But if I showed them another like Pill channel or Manosphere reaction channel or whatever, they'd be like, "Yo, Stefan, he wilding out. He going too far, bro. Like he
but
over the top. You know what I mean? He too
but
disrespectful,
the,
yada yada."
the
But
point.
Chris, and I say this again because I debate red pill, black pill, purple pill. I debate everybody. MGTOW. You're probably one of the most reasonable Manosphere channels in the like whether you're talking just the general manosphere or just in general that covers these specific topics. Because I mean, like it might be like one or two people I can't remember because I'm drunk right now. I drank earlier, so maybe but off the top of my head, like you pretty much cover like whether it's the Travis Hunter shit, whether it's modern dating and pop the balloon, or whether it's some more introspective shit, or whether it's interracial dating or yada yada. Your channel in general, like, is not inflammatory at all. Like if I was an advertiser, I would be like, yo, put me on Chris's channel. Cause he's going to cover these controversial topics, but he himself is very reasonable, logical, reasonable. He's not biased. He kind of, takes both sides in and contextualizes what he's analyzing, whereas other people, they're like, oh, this modern women deserve to die, or modern women deserve to be deleted, or modern women are worthless, yada yada. Society, it's over for society, whatever. They're just completely, they're going off the rails with it.
But yeah,
But
but that's the point I was trying to make. So for me to get a strike on my channel for quote unquote hate speech for incels, and you already know what I actually think about quote unquote incels. We have basically have the same opinion about it. But for me to even get
yeah,
a strike, it just shows that they just don't want to hear if they just think of incels as this, and we just can't question it. Nope, you can't question it. If you even just question why they're being villainized, that means you're defending them. And just because you're calling into question why something is being villainized, or an idea or topic is being villainized, that doesn't mean you're defending it. But
yeah,
this is supposed to be the so-called most educated group of people in forever. I keep getting told this, but it's clearly not. It's clearly not, because I'm looking at my the discourse, and it all came back to this right here. So this guy, he says, you're the sick one who supports this ish, done interacting with the PDF defender. No matter what the race, gender, this ish is gross. Go find someone your own age. And I'm like,
oh
how does that?
god,
I'm like, how does that make me support this? I'm just calling into question. He could be from Brazil. I had to give him a hint in the early. I was like, I'm like, bro, I know you're slow, but let me give you a hint. He might be from Brazil, because I know like Brazil is wild. It's like 14 or 15, right?
oh yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that. But then you have
And they
somebody
look
else.
like a couple that could be from Brazil. Like,
Yeah, because I was looking at them, I'm like, they're not American. Because I'm just and that doesn't mean they just look weird looking. I'm just saying they just don't look American,
yeah. Like
right?
at best, I would if I had to guess, I would say they're from either Brazil or
They kind of look Greek. I'm not even gonna lie.
yeah. Like if you would have said Brazil or like some type of like Mediterranean,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
maybe the wife is Greek and the husband is Portuguese or yada yada, or the wife is Italian and the husband's Greek, whatever. To me, that's more. I wouldn't guess American. American would be the last guess. Like
yeah,
that's
exactly. So but that was the point. But I'm probably gonna get another person stalking my page because this is happening, because I'll just try to make a point, but you can't make, because you got to understand you're dealing with like younger people, right? So
yeah.
Tyrone, how old are you? You said you were in your 30s, right?
I'm 36.
So
I'll
I'm
be
20.
37 in 4 months.
So I'm 26. So even me, I have to be careful with the people my age. I got to be careful. So
Yeah.
I can't.
Because
Sometimes I can't.
you're a Zoomer, but you're an older Zoomer. You're not a college Zoomer. You're one of the Zoomers that is.
I'm a Zoom.
You
I still consider, like, I'm Gen Z. I'm
no
definitely
no 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 no. I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying to me because I'm an old head, and mind you, if you call me an old head, I won't take offense to it because I look super young for my age. So I'm grateful. I don't even like. There. I have coworkers that are like 30 years old that look older than both of us. So.
Yeah.
So I like being an old head because I'm like, yo, a lot of
But
old heads are on YouTube that are my age or like in their 40s and they're giving bad advice. So if I can be one of the millennials that's kind of a bridge between like, guys my age and Zoomers, and I have kind of a weird perspective, so I can kind of tie things together for different people to get, because I see a lot of like, whether it be like pickup artists or like passport bros or whatever, they'll be like 10, 15, 20 years older than me, and they'll be giving guys advice on game and like looks and self-improvement, and I'm like, bro, y'all, a 45-year-old or 50-year-old is the last person you want to go to, because most of the chicks they get, if they are attractive, it's because of seeking arrangements. But that's a whole nother story. But my point is,
we
yeah,
talked about that on the chat.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
But
even because I know you, because people get it confused because I look younger, but like I'm an unk. So even though Chris I know is younger than me, I'm not exactly sure his age. You said you're 23?
26.
26. Oh yeah. So that's what, like
But
10
I'm
years almost exactly. Yeah. So so um so even though Chris is younger than me, I'm not going to compare his, like, Chris, his opinion reflects more of like a millennial. So even though Chris is 26, like, because Chris might be wise beyond his years, or for whatever reason, he might be just a super smart guy, or for whatever reason, his opinions and perspective, it's more reflective of guys my age. So like if I ran into a dude 32 years old or 33 or 34, like Chris reminds me of the guys in that age range. So
no,
for
that's a good
whatever
way.
reason. So that's why even though I know Chris, I'm assuming isn't as black pilled as me, a lot of his like conclusions about dating are very accurate. Like regardless of whatever he labels himself as. Cuz I like honestly most people, they're not really black or red pill, or like they're probably some like random place in between one of the two or whatever.
Most people
You
are
know.
purple pilled. Most people
Yeah,
are purple pilled.
yeah. Cause me, I'm purple pilled technically, but I'm dark purple pilled. So I don't know if there's that many people with a YouTube channel that are dark purple pilled, but it just basically means like I value um like purple pill people, they value, compatibility, relationship, um, or I'm sorry, um, like compatibility, um, obviously being equally yoked, but obviously they value like romance, um, like a full on red or black pillar. Obviously, they're not gonna gravitate towards romance the same as like a purple pillar. So even though a lot of people that watch my channel may think I'm a doomer and this and that, again, for the people who aren't aware, I'm technically not a black pillar. I'm just saying, technically, even the doomers will tell you, technically speaking, I am a dark purple pillar. So that means, again, I believe in looks and genetics, personality, which again is a lot, induced. Personality is derived from genetics, not 100%, but you know, based on
No,
twin studies that analyze twins in different environments,
well,
the
Corey Holcomb
personality
was
is very linked to your genetics. But
Corey
I
Corey
don't even
Holcomb
care about
already
that shit. I just want
yeah.
to make the point that whether you're black pilled or red pilled or blue pilled for that matter, most of these do, and this is why I debate with everybody, and I'll pass you the mic in a second. Um, whether they're black pilled or not, I usually disagree with them because regardless of what they label themselves as, they refuse to they refuse to analyze the intangibles of attraction, and they refuse to, well, really that's basically it. I mean, like the red pillars, they focus on like money and muscles and whatever else they focus on. And the blue pillars focus on like romance and like, oh, just be yourself and have a good personality. Looks don't really matter as long as you're compatible, yada yada. Like everybody has their flaws, but but you were about to make a point, so you can go. I didn't want to cut you off because you're about to make a point.
So the point though I was trying to make with this post, it's kind of hard to have a thought exercise, especially if you're dealing with Gen Z and younger, even millennial. and younger, to a lesser extent millennial, but specifically Gen Z and younger, you can't have a thought exercise. They're gonna label you something. And it's fine with me. I don't really care about the I don't been called like Terrell Owens said. He said I've been called worse by better. So that's
Yeah.
fine. So that's I don't care about that. But this is why most dudes are afraid to speak out about these things because a label can be very damaging to your reputation. But let me move on
Oh,
to
yeah.
let me move on to Diddy though, because I forgot to do that. I'm just gonna cover this story real quick. So if people don't understand, the whole reason why Diddy even started getting into this mess is because Cassie put a case on him, and he paid off the civil suit like 24 hours later, and then everything just started collapsing around him. So right now, Diddy's legal team is saying that the freak offs were not only were they videotaped, but they showed fully consenting adults. So that includes Cassie. So reading from the Shade Room report, if you want to take that seriously, but I'm gonna give them their credit, right? Diddy's legal team is starting the year off with claims that several videos at the center of his federal racketeering and sex trafficking indictment show fully consenting adults engaged in freak offs. Now, I already told you guys 2 years ago, for the OG listeners, this is the term that they're starting to use now, racketeering and sex trafficking for just for people being freaky in the industry, but they're using racketeering, sex trafficking, just these things to just put cases on ninjas. But people don't understand the ramifications, the long-term ramifications of that, and now we're starting to see that come to full light. So right
Oh,
here it says,
Chris,
oh,
you
what's up?
think? Well, I mean, I'm only gonna talk because I want to hold off the story, but I just wanted to say real quick with Diddy. Well, I'm not that well researched on it, but I think the thing that really hurts him, if you take out the women, because I'm sure a lot of the women or fits 50-50, maybe some of the women or a lot of the women were with it or they were down for whatever, so it didn't really matter whether they were drunk or not, yada yada. They were down to smash Diddy or smash Meek Mill or French Montana or whoever was there. They didn't care. But um the thing that gets me is the dudes. I forget the names. Not just the dude that sued him, but it was damn, my bad. I'm drunk. It was another. It wasn't the dude Rodney, the producer that sued me. Diddy. It was another. I can't remember. I might have to pause and come back. But it was another dude. Anyway, my point was, even if you take out Cassie or whoever, because Cassie I'm gonna take out because he's more nuanced. But even any celebrities at a particular Diddy party who may have been consensual, um, some of them dudes involved, I could see not exactly knowing what was going on, so they would be caught up in a weird situation without the context. Not
Yeah,
even just Meek Mill. I'm just saying in general.
yeah, I
Because
think, well,
like for instance, let's say I'm a rapper that's unsigned and I'm just at a studio because my producers are cool with Diddy. Like my producers are from Atlanta and they kind of more famous than me. I get invited to a party when I happen to be in New York or LA for the weekend or whatever, right? And that's the situation. Like I was there with some LA niggas or some Atlanta producers or yada yada, and let's say maybe half the chicks there at the party are regular chicks and down to smash. They're just random models or ratchet chicks or like Hollywood, groupies, yada yada. And then let's say it's some random other chicks there that Diddy had that were underage or not, or either or. But I'm just saying, let's say you get my point. Let's say if I
yeah,
was a
yeah,
Philly rapper and my Atlanta producers invited me out for the weekend, and I'm like, yeah, I stopped by. I'm in the hotel. I'm 20 minutes away. I'm gonna meet up with Little Uzi's producer in Hollywood real quick or wherever. RIP to everybody in the LA fires, by the way, and prayers to anybody still evacuating, yada yada. But if Diddy invited me to a party when I was there and yada yada, and I'm like, yeah, I'm Little Uzi's boy from Philly. I be ghostwriting for people here and there, yada yada. And Diddy, had me in that situation. That's where I'm coming at this angle from. I'm like, okay, if I'm in a mansion and Diddy invites me somewhere, and technically speaking, I consented to be there because I'm like, yeah, Little Uzi invited me, yada yada, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like, but then let's say out of the 100 people there, 60 of them are on some like trafficking and fetish shit with underage chicks and prostitutes and all. You see what I'm saying? The other 40 niggas in the studio that night, or that are recording or linking or networking, and they're in and out. You see what I'm saying? We don't even know what's going on. We're just like, yo, you see what I'm saying? Like, yo, Stefan, Little Dirk and Little Uzi's both in LA this weekend. I know you only gonna be here one night, but we all going to link up at Diddy's party for like probably an hour or two. If you can make it through, let me know. I'll send an Uber, or if you know what I mean. Like I'm just saying, I'm not defending Diddy. I'm defending the innocent bystanders.
No,
I'm
I
saying
get,
it
I
was
get that.
innocent niggas there at the party that didn't know what were going on, and they're just getting drugged or whatever, or getting fed drinks. Like, yo, Stefan, we heard, yo, French Montana is cool with you. You never even met Diddy, but French Montana, he said, whenever he freestyled in New York and Philly, you were at every rap battle. So, we gonna make sure you drink good tonight. If that's me, and they feeding me drinks, and then Diddy walk in like, oh, yo, French Montana, yo, Stefan, you from Philly like Meek Mill, right? French told us you used to show up at every party and yada yada. You see what I'm saying? I'm just defending the people that aren't traffickers. That's it.
No,
I'm
sorry.
not
So
defending Diddy. I want to make that clear. I
let me
actually hate
let,
Diddy. I actually, to be
let, let me
honest,
let me
I
let me
think
let me.
Diddy. I'm not even going to get into.
Oh, Steph, let
I
me
think he murked Kim Porter. I think he deleted her. So
Steph, let me finish the article though. Let me
not
finish
that
the article.
not that she's a perfect saint. I'm not well researched on it, but
So
Diddy. I'm
right
not letting Diddy off the hook that easy. That's all I'm saying.
No, I feel so. Right here,
Yeah,
it says
yeah.
per Rolling Stone, uh, Diddy's attorneys claim the videos confirm his innocence and must be turned over to his defense for an independent analysis. It says in a letter to the court filed Tuesday, the mogul's lawyers disclosed that 9 freak-off videos were previously handed over to prosecutors by quote-unquote victim 1, Cassandra, aka Cassie Ventura. His legal team claims 6 videos unambiguously depict consensual sexual encounters where victim 1, aka Cassie, is not only consenting, she is evidently happy, dominant, and completely in control. So that's something I suspected for the most part anyway.
I gotta
So
see it to believe it. And Chris, if you want me to be 100%, and I'm not even trying to be funny, if you want me to keep it 100% a buck, if Cassie, if somebody sends me that video and they say, Stefan, you're wrong. Cassie wasn't a victim at all. You need to stop being a blue pill simp. And they show me video of Cassie consenting before and after and doing all this shit and whatever. Nigga, that's gonna make me like Cassie more. I'm gonna be like, I get what y'all are trying to do. And yeah, I get like y'all are right and everything, but that makes me think Cassie's a freak. So I'm
well,
gonna hit
yeah,
up
well,
Cassie, and I'm gonna hit up Cass. Like I might hit up Cassie DM. I'm like not right now, but if I get YouTube famous, if I look put it this way, if I get 800K, a million YouTube subscribers in the next 5 years, and y'all niggas are talking about, oh, Cassie is a freak and Cassie consented and yada yada. And in 5 years, I have 800K YouTube subs and a bunch of money, and I'm just bored as shit. Yes, I'm gonna hit up Cassie in 5 years and try to fuck. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real.
Well,
Yeah,
so
my bad.
because
No,
technically, I didn't really understand why she got how she got away with like just
yeah.
being
I'm
the
sorry.
quote unquote.
My bad. You can continue the article because I don't think I let you finish the details. My bad. I just
So
wanted
I
to
don't.
make it clear that like
No,
I'm not
I
saying
understand.
Cassie's perfect. I'm not saying she's completely, because I don't know all the details, but I'm just saying if it comes out where 80% of the fault is on Diddy and 20% is on Cassie, like 20% and whatever at some specific events where she consented and yada yada, but the other 80% where she didn't really want to do it, yada yada, whatever. I'm taking Cassie's side. Y'all can call me a simp. This is why Chris respects me, because I keep it real. And if Chris disagrees with me, or if any other black pillars on my channel disagree with me, I respect you. I won't unmod you. You can still be a mod on my channel. I fuck with it. Y'all keep me, fair. I I respect y'all keep me honest. So I respect that. But I'm just keeping it a buck, nigga. If Cassie comes to me like Stefan Diddy abused me and yada yada, nigga, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm simping for Cassie. I'm keeping it a buck. I'm getting head. I'm simping. I'm buying her a birthday present. Valentine's Day is coming up in like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm buying Cassie a Valentine's Day present. I'm simping. I'm uploading date footage on my YouTube and date vlogs of the dinner of the restaurants I take her to. At least, if I ever simp for Cassie or some other chick like that, at least y'all can't say I was frauding or bullshitting, because I let you know up front, like, yo, I don't care how black pilled I am. If the bitch is bad, I'm a simp. I'm keeping it a buck. So y'all can never say I lied to you and said I was some player or some dating coach that got a bunch of bitches with game and I could date a bunch of models with being charismatic. I kept it 100 with you from the beginning. I have chicks I already talked to, which I'm cool with, but if a chick like Cassie pull up, yes, I will simp. Yes, I will trick. Yes, I will take her out for Valentine's Day. Yes, I will cuddle. And yes, I will call Diddy a bitch. And yes, I will do think pieces. I will publish blogs on my website about how Diddy is a misogynist tyrant and he doesn't value women's bodies and he doesn't see them as equal human beings. And again, I'm keeping it a buck. Why wouldn't I do that? I'm a regular nigga. I'm not famous. My YouTube channel doesn't even have 500 subs yet. So of course yes, I'm gonna take the advantage. I'm gonna take the perspective against Diddy, and I'm gonna get the feminists on my side. I'm gonna get the women on my side because I don't care how, any of you black pill bitch niggas, any of y'all black pill niggas want to argue with me. Dark purple pills better, because we keep it real with women, but we still value cuddling. I will tell a 5'1" or 5'2" woman that she is too short for me to have kids with. But then I'm going to tell her to her face, you know what? You kind of cute. I still want to talk to you. Let me have your number. That's dark purple pill. We can keep it honest with bitches and we can still tell a bitch, yo, you too short for me. I would rather date a woman that's 5'9" so my kids are taller. But you know what? You're cute. I want to cuddle. I want to treat you right. I want to. empathize with you and recognize you as a human being in all your faculties. So let's go home and let's cuddle.
All right. I don't want to
Purple
get.
pill niggas are the best. I'm sorry, Chris. You can take
I don't
over.
want
My
to.
bad. My bad. I know I was rambling. I'm so sorry. I apologize. My
All
bad.
right.
My
So
bad.
let me just finish the article
I'm
real
gonna
quick.
mute up. I'm sorry. I've been talking for way too long. I'm gonna mute up. I'm sorry.
Okay. So it says the videos are currently under a protective order, and Diddy's attorneys claim they have only been they've been able to review the footage in person while wait, what? Hold on, let me replay that paragraph. They said the videos are currently under a protective order, and Diddy's attorneys claim they have only been able to review the footage in person while monitored by law enforcement. So what they just keeping it in private? Yeah, all right. In addition, they argue that complete unabridged electronic copies are necessary so they can retain their own experts to exploit the videos. Full exclu I don't even know what that word is.
Yo, Chris, they just
Exclusivity.
watching Prime. That's kind of
Yeah,
yo.
yeah,
If you think
that's
about it, yo, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's
If I was like an investigator, it would be so hard to not crack a joke like, yo, Diddy, you got me in here for 7 months watching you smack. Like, I don't know. It's just because because all these parties they're watching, most of the foot, like some of the footage is probably like them clothed when the parties first started, when they're like giving people drinks and shit. But after that, it's all like people naked, people drunk, people doing drugs, people in gangbang orgy. Like it's just imagine being an investigator and you study all these years to like investigate like high crimes and drug busts, or maybe you wanted to work for Interpol, or you wanted to whatever, be a high profile investigator or whatever, and they're like, yo Tyrone, your next case, yo, forget that cartel leader that you were tracking last month, or forget that serial killer that you were tracking last month in New York that killed like 12 people in 20 days. We're going to put you on a case for Diddy. So for the next 70 days or for the next half a year, you just got to watch a bunch of Prime. I gotta watch Diddy naked smashing drunk bitches and bitches on different drugs. I gotta watch different rappers and celebrities and Hollywood people being drugged. You still say like that's weird to me. That's crazy.
yeah.
That-
So I don't
I'm
like
sorry.
how
I'm
they can
sorry.
have like all that, just the access. I don't know what they're doing to with the video. They're probably selling it, putting it on the dark web
Yeah, no, yeah,
themselves,
yeah.
and
But
doing
I'm
all
just
this
saying,
stuff.
as far as the investigators, I'm
Oh
sure it's
yeah,
not all of them, but as far as the ones specifically who are on a case, who have to for the charges of like SA and drugging this person and that person, they have to look at the actual tape with all the party tape where it's just like the orgies and this and that. And I'm like, yo, my nigga, like I went to undergrad for criminal justice, and I went to police academy to watch Prawn for 2 years of P. Diddy. Like, this is my next job for the next 2 years. Because the case is going to take 2 years. It's going to be a long case. Like the OJ Simpson case took my entire childhood. Like, that shit didn't finish until I was a teenager. So the P. Diddy case is going to at least be going until like 2027,
yeah.
2028, maybe. I don't know all the details. I'm just guessing. If I had to guess, because it's 2025 now, if I had to guess, the trial won't be over until at least 2027. At least.
Nah, that's a good estimate. But yeah, just
Because the
showing the
number the
Diddy.
number of all those other like people involved, celebrities, civilians, actresses, hairstylists, models, other rappers, video vixens, extras in the video, uh, yada yada. All those different yeah, I would say the trial is at least going till 2027. So,
But yeah,
so all you investigators who don't want to watch Prawn, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you better get used to it because you're going to be watching Prawn for the next 2 years.
yeah, that's unfortunate. And
But look, Cassie look good. Yo, Cassie is sexy. Yo,
but this might set a precedent, with even
Yeah.
future cases, because usually it's still illegal to videotape your encounters in, like, for most parts. But
yeah,
maybe
that's how.
maybe
Yeah,
but
that's yeah. I
maybe
don't know how
the
that's. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
so maybe with that case, this might open up the doors for even the Bowers of the world, like, a future Trevor Bauer case, or like a
Oh
future
yeah.
case where they'll be like, nah, I got this on videotape. They can actually start using videotape evidence, because this whole thing about his word against hers, her word against his, it's getting, now the lawyers and now the court systems, they're starting to finally feel the effects of it. It's not even about the money anymore. It's like, okay, we can't even do our jobs properly without the proper perspective. So I think, depending on how this case goes, this will definitely set a precedent. So I did wanted to show that story, and to particularly show that Cassie is basically Ghislaine Maxwell in her case, because I believe she was just as guilty as Diddy. I believe she was organizing a lot of these quote unquote freak offs. I believe she
See,
was a
I don't
full
know as many
participant.
details as you, so I don't have any opinion on that. I
But
would literally have to
there's a lot of people that have
research it. Yeah.
like, I'm talking about, they know personal stories of Cassie, where they were saying that, like, when Diddy was beating on Kim Porter, they said that Cassie was sitting there laughing at her.
Oh, okay. So she's okay. I get you. I get you.
So
I get it. I get it.
she's not like
She's not innocent. I get like she's not. Yeah, I
and I
get.
know
I get what you're saying.
I know you said the same thing, that she's not really innocent. So, but
Yeah.
no matter the point, she's not innocent. That's always been my belief. No matter
So
how you put it,
she's
no matter,
not exactly Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever you said, but
to a
it's
lesser to a lesser extent.
yeah, I get what you're
Poor,
saying. I get
you know
what
what I
you're
mean?
saying. Yeah, I
So,
get what you're saying.
but yeah, that's basically the point of bringing up that story. But bottom line, we do have to wrap up the show, because I just
Wait,
wanted to show.
if Pyro wants to debate me later, he can, but I don't think he was talking about me. I think he was talking about somebody else.
Oh no, he's trolling. He's trolling.
Oh,
Trust
okay.
me. That's just how Pyro will come on the stream and be like, and he'll drop a pun. He'd be like, I just came from jerking off. No, I'm just playing.
No, when he said let me up there so I can debate him, I'm like, he
debate
can,
him,
but I
he's
think
gonna
me and
learn today.
Pyro,
He's quoted.
yeah.
He's quoting Kevin Hart.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He said he's gonna learn today. That's him quoting American cop, because Pyro's from Jamaica. Pyro's Jamaican. But he's just quoting. He's just quoting comedy. He likes you. Don't worry. He's
yeah,
because
because it's not that I'm against debating, but it's like Pyro, me and him agree on almost everything. So I was like, wait, what? Like,
no,
yeah.
And plus, you said you were sipping, so you.
Oh yeah.
No, it's all good. But I just wanted to do this specific stream because I did say I was gonna do a specific when it comes to race, relationships.
Oh yeah. From now on, I'm giving you a permanent stop pass. So if I'm ever monologuing or rambling and I don't know, because a lot of times I'll stream after work, so I'm drunk.
Oh, Pyro said you said Pyro said, yeah, I was just messing around.
He was. Okay.
Trust me, Pyro's cool. He does this.
Yeah,
he's cool. But no, you're
I was
good.
just saying because sometimes I'm drunk after work, and people are debating me, and I'm not sure if it's a real debate or not. Because like like my half the videos on my channel are debates, but other people are just trolling. It's not a real. They don't really disagree with me like that. It's not whatever. But some people are literally like, they'll be like, "Oh, Tyrone, you're coping. this sub 4 white dude that is like 400 pounds. He's a 6 out of 10 because he has blue eyes and blonde hair. And I'm like, all right, you niggas. I'm exaggerating a little bit, obviously, but I'm like, you niggas are coping. But yeah, no, Pyro's cool. But oh, I
But
was
now,
gonna say,
you
if
know,
I ever join your stream again, and I may have said this earlier. I honestly, again, I'm drunk, so I forget. But Chris has a permanent stop
you said a
Tyrone
stop
pass.
pass,
So
but just
no,
just
literally,
make sure.
whenever I debate other people, like on Playing with Fire, when I debated Wee Waffles and other people on his channel, I'm like, yo, when I monologue and ramble, I I'm not doing that out of disrespect. I'm doing that because I can't really multitask. So I'm giving you free reign to just stop me. So this is just for future reference, just in general. Just and I say that because the channels I joined, I want to join again because like the channels that I whether it's debating or whether it's the channels like you where I agree with and I'm cool with. Um, Even if I ramble a lot and I'm annoying, I want to at least the next time I show up on that panel, I want to be less annoying. So, so
So,
if
but
I
yeah,
if I come on Chris's panel again, I will talk a little bit less, but I'm just saying if I'm drunk or high or something and I ramble and I forget to stop myself, I am preemptively giving Chris permission to stop me. Because again, even on my own channel, certain black pillars know, or certain guys I'm cool with, they know they could just shut me up. Like, yo, Tyrone, shut the fuck up, whatever. And I won't take offense to it because I know they're just stopping me because I have a habit of once I get 2 or 3 sentences in, I just keep rambling. And this is like a real life thing. Like literally, like at my regular job in real life, um, like this past Sunday, I was talking to a customer for like 2 hours straight, and my coworker was like, "Yo, what do you like?" My coworker thought I was attracted to fat women because one of my customers, like she was thick or fat or whatever, and I'm like, "No, I'm just super talkative." So this isn't even just online shit. So even my real life friends, I give them permission. Hey, if you need to shut me the fuck up, if I'm talking too much and you need to shut me up, Chris has permission to mute me or tell me to shut the hell up, and I won't take offense. That's all I'm saying.
but yeah, but
But yeah,
speaking on the race things, the reason why I did wanted to do that show is just to show that really it's not even about race. I always do this,
it's
like
really
I'll
not. Yeah, most of the black
so
pill shit.
oh wait, hold on
Yeah,
for one sec.
no, you're right. My bad.
So like most other stuff in terms of race, when it comes to white dudes, black dudes, if we're Indian dudes, all Asian dudes, Hispanic dudes. Now I'm seeing stuff with them. It seems to be the theme is always the same, where it's basically you have the average woman, or even basically even the below average woman. They want nothing to do with the average man, and when you bringing up the Wignat Brads, that's just something you just kind of have to ignore. Basically, that's what I was trying to say to you. Like, basically, you just gotta have to just ignore it because they're coping, and most white, in my opinion, most white dudes, they're not even really thinking about it like that. It's just you have a subsection of.
Oh
I'm not.
yeah,
I don't want.
no,
I don't. I don't. I
I'm
don't want
well
to say.
aware.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
only exposed to those guys because I'm a black pill channel.
Oh
Like
yeah. Yeah.
if
So.
if I wasn't a black pill channel, those Wignat Brads, they probably wouldn't even discover my channel. It's
Because
just
most.
because of where I'm at in the algorithm and the channels that I comment on. Like I would run across more Wignat Brads than the average black person. So
Yeah.
I'm
But yeah.
I've always been aware of that. So
Yeah, but yeah,
yeah.
that's basically the point, because it really, because I've actually had this discussion, particularly race, because I don't like talking about race or politics, meaning in terms of victimhood, in terms
Yeah,
of race.
I don't like talking about it
Uh,
unnecessarily.
but when it comes
If it's
to
necessary to talk about, I don't mind it. But if it's unnecessary, if it's just like, yeah,
but
I'm
the,
with, yeah, exactly.
yeah, but the reason why I bring that up is I don't want to focus my channel on that, but I did wanted to bring it up like once and for all because I have addressed it probably in two other episodes, sorry, two other live streams where I kind of went down, you know, the list in terms of how it is with black men with Spanish men or white men with black women, and you know just the dynamics between that. And that could be a part two, but I've already kind of talked about this, but that's the reason why I don't really touch politics because it's pointless. And then race, it seems that it
Oh
comes
yeah.
down to the same when it comes to race. And I'm not saying race is pointless. I mean, it seems to come down to the same thing. It's just broads is acting wild. And people can't seem to understand what's going on and the social factors behind that, and why people got to understand it's not even really white dudes shouldn't even take it personal. You know what I mean? Or black dudes shouldn't even take it personal when, you know, black women do what they do. It's just what black people are going through right now is just matriarchy at its highest peak. It's just basically
Yeah,
like
well,
how
my thing,
you
I
know
never understood like when white dude, like if it's a black dude that dates an Asian chick and white dudes online get mad or whatever it is.
yeah, I've addressed that on my channel as
Yeah,
well. I
yeah,
remember, yeah. So I even said, and I don't even address the race like that, but I did even address the part where, because
because
believe it or
that's
not,
weird. That's weirdo behavior right there.
so believe it or not, like when I see actually see comments like, you know, single mom, if it's like a black dude with a white girl, I actually don't really mind it. Believe it or not, because I get it because it's your woman. You know,
Oh, I
it's a
mean
sense
that
of
my thing is
it's a sense of
that's
what's
more that's still it's corny in a sense that
it's
it's a
yeah
random white bitch, but
it is
that's
it's
still
corny,
less
but it's under
corny than the Asian chicks because the thing, at least
yeah
with the white chick, it's not an individual white chick that they have a chance with. It's if anything, it's probably a Becky or a Stacy that thinks that white dude is invisible because he's an unattractive incel anyway. But at least that's their natural ethnicity. That's their group. So it's like, oh, it makes sense. But
yeah
when they do that shit with Asian women, it's like, bro, that's just weird.
yeah
Because that's
so
like me. If you because you can make that example with any other ethnicity and it's just weird. Like imagine if I was a black dude dating an Indian chick and a Latino dude was like, "Oh, these black dudes are dating these Indian chicks. That's so weird." Like, nigga, you're Latino. Why do you care? You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you caring because on an individual level, they shouldn't care regardless. Because I'm like, bro, me dating this white chick from Philly, you're a white racist from Kansas. You wouldn't have dated her anyway. It doesn't matter. But they're not looking at it reasonably. But my thing is, like in the other example, um, if a Latino dude is like, oh, this black dude is dating an Indian, you see what I'm saying? Like it's just so
But no, I get that example, but I you know
it's
I did address that on my
because I
channel
don't
where
think
basically
to be
where
clear, I don't think our women is a thing. Like when people
no,
think,
no, but when I
yeah.
say I get the mindset, so that's why I don't trip over that. The only
Oh
thing
yeah,
I
no,
did,
that's why I
you know
agree.
what I
That's
mean?
why I agree with you. I yeah.
No, I
But
get it.
like
But
I said, when they do it over other ethnicities, chicks,
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
then there's no excuse because it's like, bro, you're worried about an entire other culture's woman. Like it's like you're a white dude, you're mad that a Chinese chick is dating a Congolese guy or a black American or a Jamaican guy or whatever, or you're mad because a Korean chick is dating a Blasian dude or you know what I mean? Like it's like, bro, That's like me getting mad at a Swedish dude for dating a Malaysian chick. And the Malaysian chick would be like, "Bro, you're black." Like,
Yeah.
and even
But
I mean, you
wait,
like you're
yeah,
Malaysian technically, but you're not, like, you're Filipino and black. You're not Malaysian. Why do you care? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just not. It's random. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So I agree. So everything you just said, I agree with,
yeah.
basically.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically, that's basically the point, and we have
Yeah.
already, addressed it. But yeah, that's basically it for today. The Diddy stuff, we can go into that at a later point, and
Oh
we'll bring
yeah.
up and,
But
and
you
we'll
did.
bring
I
up
like the fact that you made a point about the Diddy case. I never heard, because I don't know if any, because I'm drunk as shit. But um, the point you made earlier about Cassie, like, I've heard it, like, brought up in different, like, cases like this with, with a couple involved in trafficking or yada yada or whatever. But and this is coming from a nigga that likes Cassie. Like, I would get Cassie pregnant. You actually brought up a good point. And even with the points you brought up, I'll still say Diddy is still mostly guilty, but I will say that you did bring up some good points. So whereas before maybe I thought it was 100% Diddy's guilty, maybe now I think it's, you know,
well, it's more nuanced because
yeah, yeah, no, yeah,
Diddy is
yeah.
he is a super villain in my opinion in the
Yeah, no, I
industry.
hate Diddy. Diddy
Yeah.
Diddy deserves to be tortured. I already hate Diddy enough. There's yeah. Anybody in the audience who thinks I'm um being nice or not as harsh, because it's Diddy, please do not. And this has nothing to do with Meek Mill, even though he's from Philly. I'm indifferent. Meek Mill's, but the only Philly rapper I'm biased towards is probably Little Uzi and Black Thought, probably those two, but maybe a couple others. But yeah, the whole Diddy shit, no, I don't care what Cassie did. My hatred for Diddy is solidified. It's there. It's not going anywhere. I don't care. I mean, Diddy would have to disprove so many, like, just not even just the sexual stuff, like the freaky stuff, just as a businessman dealing with certain rappers, whether it be Philly rappers, whether it be the Locks and Jadakiss and Styles P, or or French Montana, or other rappers or R&B singers signed to Bad Boy or whatever, like, having them in bad 360 deals, and they had to waste 5 years of their career trying to get out of his deal to get to another label, yada yada, whatever, or whatever. My point is, even if you take the Cassie shit out of it, whether she's good, bad, indifferent, whatever, Diddy is still a demon. He deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life. Please. Even the Biggie shit, and I'm not even really a great Biggie fan, to be honest. He's kind of overrated to me, so I'm not even gonna take it there. But yeah, you will never see me rooting for Diddy to have a lightened sentence. I hope Diddy rots in prison for the rest of his life. And Diddy, you know what I look like, because I cammed up on the Pineapple Show. So if you want to send hitters, you can. If you do, you're fucking stupid, but whatever.
But yeah, that
But
yeah,
yes,
but
Diddy, you deserve to die in prison, you fucking maggot. Yes, you deserve to
yeah.
die.
So, but
I'm
yeah,
sorry. You deserve to naturalize away into the ether at God's pace. That's what you deserve to do. So I'm not
I'll
saying you
make
should be violently murdered or anything. I'm just saying, Diddy, you deserve to be locked away in prison for the rest of your life, and at whatever time the universe wants you to naturally be deceased, Whatever time that happens to be, that is the time I approve for. But it will not be with you in free society. It should be with you behind bars. And I'm going to raise the stakes up, Chris, before I pass you back the mic. If Diddy is let out of prison before, or while I'm still alive or whatever, I will personally become a politician and try to get Diddy back in prison. I swear to God, I put that on my mom and dad's grave. My mom has been dead since I was 16. My dad has been dead since my 20s. I put it on both of their graves. If Diddy gets out of prison before I'm 40 years old, I will personally become a senator. I will devote my life to getting you back in prison, you bitch ass nigga. Diddy deserves to be deleted. But anyway, Chris, you can take it away. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna finish it off by saying just a few things on the race, and then
And not
finish
because of the
off with the
Cassie
video.
shit, by the way, because I don't know all the details of that shit. I hated
Oh
Diddy
yeah.
before the Cassie shit. Diddy was a bitch ass nigga. He was a snake that deserved to be deleted way before the Cassie shit. Just wanted to make that clear. And I'm not even a Biggie fan. I'm being fair. Diddy's
Gotcha.
a bitch.
So
Diddy
yeah.
deserves to be deleted. That's it. I'm sorry.
So when it comes to race, right? This is the point I will make. I'm just gonna make these points. I just gotta say them before I sign off. So if you are, one of these the white dudes in the comment section, doing the boogeyman stuff, single mom this, single mom that, I don't mind it, but that actually, unfortunately, it hurts your case. The same way I can make the dichotomy. There's a lot of pro-black dudes, or there's a lot of dudes in the black manosphere that used to be former pro-blacks, and because a lot of them were shocked that the black women that they were simping for were still going out with white dudes, and they just couldn't understand. But they didn't understand that same logic also applies to them. The more you make the white man the boogeyman, the more you just so it also works both ways on that end. So I will leave that off on that end. So now to Diddy's case. Diddy, we got to remember, the only reason why Diddy's in trouble is because he tried to make some power moves with people that work in the wine spirits, that industry right there, that liquor industry. He tried to make a
Oh
power
yeah,
move. It
Ciroc.
didn't work. So that's why all this stuff is happening to him. So we got to keep that in mind. So all of this stuff is just power moves, power plays. But that's all I have to say for today. I got Educated Tyrone's channel. I put the link, so please subscribe to Educated Tyrone's channel. It's some interesting stuff because he really he really do be debating anybody on there. Even I seen on his channel. Let me just I'm not gonna let me see. Can I bring it up real quick? Let me I don't know if I can share the screen, but oh yeah, let me share the screen. So like I'm looking on this. I might take a
Oh
look at
yeah.
this with not so erudite. These are people that I won't even, but he's putting himself out there. He's putting himself out there, and that's what the brave ones do. You know what I mean? So shout out to you, and thank you for joining in on the show. We'll definitely
Oh, thanks for having
talk.
me.
Yeah, no problem, man. So we'll definitely talk later. We're gonna end it off
Oh
with
yeah, if
this
any,
soundbite.
just to the people subscribing to me again, um, if you're like, oh, he's a weirdo black pillar, Chris, you're just cool with him. He's a weirdo. You just cool with him, so you're not really recognizing it. I want to emphasize the fact I disagree with a lot of black pillars. So if you look at my channel, if you go on the pre-uploads, I mean, live streams are kind of all over the place. It's some streams are music, some are debates, some are random reactions. But the pre-uploads, my debates, you'll see me debating other black pillars. You'll see me debating women. You'll see me debating dating coaches. You'll see me debating red pillars. You'll see me debating I probably even have a debate with like a purple pillar, to be honest, at least one or two. So I'm not a typical like. If you're like, this is the way I'll sum it up. If you're a fan of Chris and you're like, all these black pillars are weirdos or whatever, a lot of the black pillars you think are weirdos, I probably have debated, or I have probably made a video critiquing why they're wrong and why they represent the black pill incorrectly. Because I think if the black pill was represented by guys that actually have already dated women and aren't virgins, you get a way more nuanced take on the black pill and a way more, because again, guys like me that are 35, 36, 30, 27, 28, whatever, we have more experience than these black pilled guys like Wheat Waffles that are 22, 21, 23, who have like two bodies, or these guys that are like 25-year-old virgins. So, if you want to see the black pill from a more realistic perspective, if you subscribe to my channel, you won't be disappointed. But I will say Chris doesn't label himself as a black pillar or a red pillar or anything, but off the top of my head, Chris gives one of the most neutral and like biased and holistic perspectives on Manosphere content. So, give Chris a like. He fucking deserves it, y'all. If anybody's watching this live, give Chris a like, sub to him. If anybody's watching this on the replay, forget my channel, subscribe to Chris. Because again, you have guys like me who don't relate to too many people, and Chris is one of the few channels that I feel like I can actually relate to or I can watch, even if it's on a topic where I don't 100% agree with Chris or whatever the person he's making a video about, because Chris is a very, neutral channel. So, but if you already subbed and you're doing, you made a good choice. So you're already on the right track. So.
Okay, so appreciate you guys. Thank you for the people in the chat for tuning in. And let me just see if this outro video works, because I'm trying something different, but let's see if this outro video works. But peace out, guys. Thank you and take care.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.